We're recording.
Hello, my little miss. Are you ready to play the little grove?
I am.
Okay, you can play the little grove if you want. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. Ooh.
This is the little grove. Welcome to the little grove. A quaint, small village filled with humble, friendly and simple folk of varied shapes and sizes. The little grove is spread around the all-encompassing life tree. It's a really big tree in the middle, I'm sure you can see in the picture.
Okay.
So aptly named due to its huge size and life-giving shelter to all the species living on, inside and around it. Winter is over and the air feels clean and new with every breath. The lush forest surrounding Little Grove hums and sings with the sound of its nearby flowing river, the Lovin's Lake. Buzzing bees make their rounds to the newly blooming flora, and the rustling leaves dance and sway with the inviting, gentle breeze. As the new season begins, people have begun opening their doors, their windows, caves and bushes waking from hibernation and thinning the winter's flames. The sound of life and new life fills the village once more as people prepare to see their friends.
Just so you know, the music's stopped.
Yeah, I know. Let's go to... Oh, hang on. I suppose, how do I make it repeat?
You've got to click the little circle button next to it for all of them.
All of them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll do that one for now. What was the image? Okay. Hold on. I've forgotten where it is. So many creatures, including hedgehogs, will hibernate for the winter, while others, including avian species, will bunker down in their insulated homes until the winter and icy season ends. What do you think Ainsley would have done in the winter?
I think Ainsley would have a little burrow of his own that's created beneath the ground, maybe somewhere beneath the life tree, where there's like a brambling of twigs and bushes and this big kind of like inner working of an underground bramble that he has. I don't know if I think he found it originally, but it's sort of like carved out much of its environment into his own little home. And I think that he's sort of gathered lots of stuff for the winter to help him get through it and to hibernate through it. Yeah, I think that's probably what he would have done for his winter's journey, grabbing lots of little knickknacks and foods and storing them and all readying for winter. But I imagine also Ainsley is someone who probably, whilst you're supposed to hibernate for winter, it's something that he's kind of not that great at doing, and sometimes he has to sort of poke his head out, and he likes to explore during the winter months to find new things and find new foods and what's going on, and just wants to see the world under a white sheet of snow.
So like most hedgehogs, Ainsley will hibernate most of the time. How about Pearl? With her 8 siblings and 2 parents.
I think Pearl is more like someone who fits into society quite well, and I imagine her like hibernating alongside her family and quite tight knit. Like, whereabouts do the avians live? Do they live separately to the other folk, or?
A lot of the avians some of them will choose to, it's like quail sort of folk will sort of live on the ground, whereas more flying specific birds will live in the life tree, either up high, depending on the species.
I think her family would live in the life tree, but not like very high up, like a little way up.
Yeah.
Enough so, like, I think Ainsley would probably climb up during hibernation to sort of like wake her up, like just so she's had that chance to wake up, and they both had a bit of a chance to explore the winter mid-hibernation.
Pigeons don't normally hibernate, but they do bunker down.
Yeah, bunker down.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, more bunkering down. And that sort of makes more sense for Ainsley, and maybe that's how their friendship blossomed, as Pearl was hunkering down, Ainsley just sort of came across her one day, and she like might have happened to sort of make ground for some reason.
Yeah.
And then since then he's kind of like seeks her out and goes to climb up the bark and using his little climbing tools and to seek her out so they can go on little fun adventures and escapades.
Cute. How old do you think they are?
I think they're both young adults.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're childhood friends. So I think they've known each other for quite a long time.
Cute.
I don't think Ainsley and Pearl are very old though, like the equivalent of being like, you know, very late teens, like 19, or like the point when your kind of childhood is sort of starting to come to an end, I think. That kind of period. Yeah.
So do you think they'd have their own little secret like hideout or whatever?
Yeah, like a club maybe, like a clubhouse.
Little clubhouse? Little treehouse clubhouse?
Yeah, like a little clubhouse, I think, somewhere that's a bit away from the life tree maybe. Like not too far, but
plenty of trees.
Dangerous. I think maybe like I don't know, I think I like the idea of being a burrow underneath the tree that's sort of maybe that is just Ainsley's hideout that became his house.
Yeah.
Like, I think he doesn't like leaving the clubhouse, and that's kind of become the clubhouse. It's like I'd say a burrow underneath a tree, like where you know where the roots like sort of come up, and
like a little archway.
Yes,
sort of
exactly. Yeah, exactly like that.
Exactly the same thing. Yeah. Okay. It's cute. So, let me just read this part as well. Okay, that's not till later. Let me get to this bit.
It's fine. Take your time.
So, as Ainsley and Pearl would be aware, I'll just tell you a little bit about life in the Little Grove. So the Little Grove, as small as it is a huge variety of folk, from the tiny Jabeen to the large Savan. The Little Grove is governed by a small group of
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. What are the Jabeen and Savan?
The Jabeen's basically a mouse.
Okay.
And then the Savan is deer.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Humblewood.
Would it be possible to have like a little handout where I can make notes in?
Oh yeah, maybe. Look. That work?
Not yet, no. You're giving me editing permission.
I tried. Oh, it's not your journal. There we go. How about that?
Yeah. Thank you. So the Jabeen are mouse folk, essentially.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Savan, so Cervan.
No, they're like deer folk.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
I will say that the deer are more rare, and they live more on the outskirts of the Little Grove.
More than the outskirts. Cool.
The Little Grove is governed by a small group of well-loved folk. It's a group of 5. They are known as the Governors, but it's more of a harsh word than it needs to be. They're in charge of specific jobs in the Little Grove. The Little Grove, other than the 5 governors, the Little Grove's self-sustaining lifestyle offers all that reside here the opportunity to live comfortably. It's a moneyless society. Its citizens choose where and when to fill in the niches and needs wherever those skills are needed and required. Many choose multiple professions, while others hunker down where they feel comfortable. Because of the lack of currency, everyone receives what they need to live comfortably and more. The seasons provide that luxury. The spring provides extra food, as does the spring and autumn. The only difficulty there lies in the winters. But with the abundance of food and resources from the rest of the seasons, there's no need to worry. Despite this abundance of food, trading does occur among its citizens, most notably with the Little Grove's very close neighbouring village, Wigglebush.
Oh, I need to write that down.
Who often brings offerings of berries, fruits and other goods less frequently grown in the Little Grove.
Is that after a wiggly bush? Wigglebush.
Wigglebush. You got that now?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, we won't lord up completely from the first little bit. So we'll move on to just a more general description of Mamish's characters. What do they look like? What do they do?
So, Ainsley is, I think, maybe like the runt of the litter. He's quite small, even for a hedge folk. He has like a slight kind of like deformity on his face as well, which means that his face doesn't quite have the complete range of movement on one side. He's had it from birth. It was some kind of complication during his birth, and it doesn't quite, like, he has kind of like it's kind of stuck in kind of almost like a slight grin all the time.
No.
Then his eyes kind of slightly drooped on that side. So he's kind of like was bullied a lot for it, I think, maybe by like other children, because you know, imagine even children in the Little Grove can be cruel at times.
It can be.
Despite you know, the people's general nice nature. But as he grew older, he sort of learnt to just sort of take pride in his deformity and just being a bit different. He's always felt like a bit different and like he doesn't always belong. As it's an orphan, he's not sure what happened to his parents. They went missing when he was younger, when maybe on a journey to Wigglebush. And ever since then, I imagine he was taken in by like a wise old owl folk, maybe, who I imagine maybe looks after like other orphans and stuff in the Little Grove, maybe like a orphan's house kind of thing. I don't know what they would be called, the owl, maybe like Wise Owl?
Yeah.
Like Wise Owl?
Wise Owl?
Yeah, Wise Owl. A-L, so it's
Wise
like...
Owl.
Yeah. So that's someone he's quite close with. But apart from that, he's really sort of just tried to... almost been like raised by community, I think.
Yeah, and I was about to mention actually that even with an orphanage, there would be a real community.
Yeah, it would more just be a place for him to sleep.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's very much raised by community. I think these days he tends to wear like a little bandana around his head. He tends to wear like a sort of a sort of like trench, a sort of like greeny kind of trench coat that's a little bit too big for him. And what else? He has like a little rapier and a short bow and a dagger that he uses. to sort of, not that I think he's ever had much opportunity to actually use it, but it's something he's just kept on his person just for safe sort of keeping. I think he's also got the folk hero background, so, but it's more that I imagine it being kind of like he thinks he's more of a folk hero than he is, and he just likes helping people. So it's mostly like, you know, Mrs. So-and-so got a cat stuck in a tree sort of thing, and he helped out, and he's known for trying to help people with like odd jobs around the village, but he's also kind of known for not like really committing to one line of work. He's someone who's like a bit lost, probably, in his own way. Like, he loves his home, but he's also a little bit lonely and a bit lost in his own way. Yeah, whilst Pearl is more, I think, very family focused. She's a cleric, like a druid, like a nature cleric, so I think she's got some kind of special connection to the life tree, I'd imagine. I think she's a very kind of humble person, is very like wanting to help people. She's very close to her family, and I think her family are maybe a little bit overprotective and kind of expect quite a lot from her. They're not nasty about it or anything, but they definitely have high expectations, especially her mother, I imagine. Has got quite high expectations of Pearl and expects her to kind of follow in a long line of sort of probably like work, like very religious kind of towards the life tree itself. But I think whilst Pearl does take pride in that, but I think she feels like maybe she's a bit different as well to the rest of her family. I think she's probably like the least accomplished of her family. I imagine her sisters are all like a lot more accomplished than her. And she's always kind of struggled to like quite connect to the life tree in the ways that her parents and her teachers have instructed her in. So I think maybe sometimes she's again, she's kind of struggled to fit in there, and while she's still very close to her family, she's definitely kind of like the odd one out a bit. She's the ugly duckling a little in a way. I think that's what kind of bonds her to Ainsley as well, is that she's got someone who is a bit weird. They're both a little bit weird and a bit kind of neurodivergent. They're definitely kind of like, I think they're very much accepted by the community and loved, but they also, you know, it's not for a lack of love or care, it's through just like inner turmoil in a way. In terms of like the way Pearl looks, she's a very bright white kind of dove looking style bird. She wears like the traditional kind of like whitey kind of gold and blue robes of like the life tree and family, like with like, I think, but also on top of that would have like very like leafy stuff on it, and like maybe like a mistletoe-y kind of stuff wrapping around it. Like very small, like it would be very naturey. And maybe like a little naturey kind of like twig crown and stuff like that.
I did forget to mention that the life tree is not an ordinary tree. It is a magical tree, basically a culmination of multiple different types of trees. So you'll have apple tree, you'll have cherry blossom tree, you'll have like every sort of tree, all on different sort of branches. Huge branches. So that could be a part of like the outfit as well. So she could like, have that
she definitely would
like
have different. Maybe that's like something that, since it's so magical and there's some kind of divineness to it. I think maybe like it's some kind of rite of passage to travel to the different branches of it and recover the different like berries that it births. So I think she would have a different sort of berries, like, and stuff like that in her outfit. I think she's got like a little sort of shepherd's kind of crook as well. It's like a staff.
Oh, that's cute.
And then, yeah, finally, there's Chester.
Oh, yeah.
Who's a capybara, which I imagine is quite a common mount in Little Grove.
So capybaras would be a mount for smaller folk.
Yes.
Whereas you might see hogs for larger folk, things like that, like large hogs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think like Chester, is what bonded him to Ainsley is, I think maybe he escaped one day, and Chester agreed to go sort of after him, and he found him all kind of like, and he fell into like a hole, like a sinkhole or something just outside the village.
There's plenty of burrows that might have been left alone for a while.
Yeah, I think maybe something like that, and it become like all like overgrown with thorns maybe. And Chester had been kind of hurt, so I think he's got like a dodgy leg, which if you're happy for me to, I'd like to reduce his speed by by 10 feet.
I think I gave him riding horse or something.
Yeah.
Stats, so you can just reduce it.
Put him down to 30.
I think
could we also roll his HP if that's alright?
You can do whatever you want, yeah. Roll his HP.
Oh. Damn it.
You can reroll ones. You can reroll one.
Can I reroll the whole thing?
You can reroll.
It's so low. Oh, that's
there
much better.
There you go. Much better. Not gonna die in one hit now.
No, that's a bit more reasonable. Cool. Yeah, and basically Ainsley rescued him from the thing, and then when they brought him back to, I don't know, whoever the sort of Mount Master is, I imagine Ainsley, they were like, oh, we can't really use him anymore because of his dodgy leg. But Ainsley was like, no, I'll take him. And then he sort of took him and kind of nursed him back to health and stuff. And then he never got to 100% again because of that broken leg. But he's got like a weird kind of limp to him now. But because I think of Ainsley's particularly diminutive size, and he can quite easily still use him as like a single rider. I think if anyone else tried to get on his back, it would be like quite difficult for Chester. I think the situations where he could like maybe carry Pearl as well, but it's not like a regular thing. Like it would be emergency situation sort of thing. So yeah, primarily
you can muster the adrenaline for certain situations.
But yeah, definitely. But in general, Ainsley's only really someone heavy enough, unless you've got like the Jabeen. Then they would be like obviously fine to travel on it, but I imagine they've got their own mounts maybe.
Potentially, depends on their role in the
yeah.
I will say there's not many mounts that walk through the centre of the Little Grove, but you will find them more on the outskirts.
Yeah.
Ridden around more, just to get around a bit faster.
Yeah, I think Ainsley is obviously on the outskirts anyway, in his little clubhouse. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay. Very good little descriptions there, Viv. They're very cute.
Thank you.
Let me just look at my next step.
Just going to grab a drink from the fridge. Sorry, my mouth's a bit dry. Did you want one?
Yeah, I will actually. I can't reach over there. My arms are not stretchy, I'm afraid. Oh yeah. Next bit is okay. So, today is the first day of spring, and while the winters are not particularly harsh or deadly in the Little Grove, as the community works hard to provide everyone with what they need to survive the season, but there is always some busy activity and excitement as the folk of the Little Grove bustle and get back to their community, lives, friends and families, and to enjoy the first day of spring and the first festival of the year. For others, a joyous, exciting time of reunion and new beginnings. And for you it might be the same, but with added steps. The people of the Little Grove may need your help before they can join in on this festive day. Do you think... What do you think that they would be doing on their first day of spring?
I think Ainsley would excitedly awaken his burrow in the clubhouse, and I think he would be like, but that morning before you go on holiday, when you wake up extra early and you're just really excited to get up early and go away and do something new. It's that kind of feeling. And Ainsley is sort of he's really gotten himself ready early. He's kind of moving around his burrow, grabbing different things, putting on his, tidying up his trench coat to make it look as nice as possible. He's straightened out and kind of not ironed, but got the the equivalent of ironing your rolling it with a rolling pin or something.
Rock or something.
Yeah, like a hot rock for his bandana. He's kind of combed his hair all nice and looking in a little mirror, trying to smile and put on his biggest smile and getting himself ready with Chester, and sort of it gets out early and Chester's still half asleep and in his little I imagine Chester's sleeps in the burrow with him but has his own little section. And Chester's still fast asleep and is kind of a bit disturbed to be why the fuck are you waking me up this early? But he gets him up and he feeds him his hay and stuff and his different sort of veg, and then I think he marches upon the Little Grove to sort of just take in the atmosphere of spring, say hello to people he hasn't seen in quite a while, who've been hibernating or hunkering down.
We'll stick to just the morning for both characters.
And then I think Pearl would probably be a little bit later. I think maybe it's kind of the opposite in this case, where her family are definitely getting ready, but she's I think Pearl is maybe a little bit reluctant for spring. She's a bit nervous of a new year. She's not unexcited, but she's definitely a bit kind of... I think Pearl is just generally more of a trepidatious kind of person. And she's a little bit reserved and kind of she's getting herself ready to go into Little Grove with her family, maybe to do some kind of ceremony as part of the festival. So it's quite I think for Pearl particularly it's a bit more of a stressful time compared to Ainsley, who's just kind of carefree.
So as you both would leave your homes, you would see that there's just the beginnings of the festival. Everyone's setting up and what they want to do. So because there's not really any currency or trade in the Little Grove, it's mostly people just trying to set up and show off what they've been accomplishing all winter. So some people make arts and crafts, some people make things out of nice little rocks, things like that. People want to show off what they've been doing. And also some people do grow little bits of food underground, like mushrooms and things like that. So people also want to try and give those away, and you'll have certain people that just want to go help people out.
I think maybe Pearl would and her family have put something together then in that vein. If wanting to have something to present to the festival, maybe that's why Pearl's quite trepidatious as well, because she's not very confident in her own abilities to. I'm not sure what they would have created. Maybe like some kind of scarecrow type sort of thing. Maybe like I don't know. Have you got any suggestions of what they might have been able to make? The scarecrow doesn't necessarily seem like a thing that really could exist here. So
I mean, it could exist. There's plenty of twigs and leaves and hay.
More like what the purpose of it would be. Though.
It could just be art. You know, if she wants to make a scarecrow. I imagine that Pearl's family is quite a large family, and I imagine that the family's quite religious, right? So they probably would make something along those lines. Maybe like a something to celebrate the life tree. Like maybe like each one of your siblings would have made like something from one of the aspects of the branches. So like one from the apple tree, you know.
Yeah, I like that. I think
maybe like
so maybe
what's the word? The thing that you like hang on the door at Christmas.
Oh, like a
one
wreath.
Of those, yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. Like a different wreath for each, like, for each member of the family, like a unique wreath. And Pearl's made hers, but she's not very confident in it. I think Ainsley probably would have made something too to kind of show off in the festival, but I'm not sure what he would have made. Maybe some kind of like contraption. Like, I think he's made some kind of like rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher.
Not like launches rockets, but maybe like shoots.
Pebbles.
I was more thinking like shoots like confetti or something.
Yeah. So he's been making colourful confetti as well.
Yeah, so like making confetti in like a little kind of
little colourful strings of like.
I imagine it's like a bin,
grass.
made of like a interweaving of like twigs and leaves, like a bin shaped thing that's got like a lever in it that can kind of make the top come open, but when it does, it kind of like blows confetti out. That's what he's been trying to make.
Pretty cute. Does it work? Shall we roll for it?
Go for it. What should we roll?
What
do you think
are the
is
things again?
Skill?
What are the skills?
You've got, I don't know, whatever you think would be appropriate.
I suppose you can choose. You can choose maybe.
I always think crafting should be its own skill under.
Should be its own skill.
Wisdom.
It, really.
Maybe we should. Can you add skills on Roll20? Like you can.
I'm not sure. Just roll a d20 and then add whatever you like. Whatever the wisdom is.
We'll just roll a wisdom check.
Yeah, can do that.
Oh wait, I rolled it with advantage. Hold on, I need to change that. How do I do it? Always our advantage toggle. And the whisper toggle. Actually no, there's no point doing whisper. And then I do want auto roll damage, because I think it's easier. I'll take the roll on the left for now, then 12? I guess a 12.
Yeah. So I think he's made this little contraption and he's tested it and tested it and tested it, and it's worked maybe half of the time. And he's just kind of hoping that it works this next time he does it.
Yeah.
He's set it all up and he's waiting to see. Okay, I've got that roll in mind for maybe later when you want to present it.
Okay.
And so the day wears on to maybe midday. You know that at the beginning of the season of spring, there are lots of people, the elderly specifically, that do struggle with leaving their homes. Things may have broken with the ice. Things like doors may be stuck. Things like bridges may have decayed a little bit in the winter and broken and need repairing. Okay, these are common things that happen pretty much every spring, and some people just need a little bit of extra help getting to the festival. Do you think that Ainsley and Pearl would be one of the people that help?
I think Ainsley would be.
Yeah.
I think Pearl is a little bit more focused on family matters at the moment. So her family, I imagine, are probably rushing around and all kind of a bit stressed about getting ready for the festival and, you know, making themselves look nice and stuff like that. Whereas I think Ainsley is more kind of like, imagine him riding into the village on Chester, and then kind of if he sees something off with a bridge, he try and like help prop it up a bit, or do what he can to help fix it. And then if he saw anyone struggling with their own thing, he'd say hello and try and help them out.
So Ainsley would actively try and go and help out people.
Yes, Ainsley would, 100%.
Okay. So Ainsley and Pearl would know, but she's busy. But Ainsley would know that. So he's helped people before. He's helped people before the winter started. And he helps people with Pearl.
Yeah.
Usually. So Ainsley would know, and he would be a very common visitor to one of the governors.
Okay.
So one of the governors, his name, he is a... Well, you would know. Let me just try and get him up because I can't know exactly what we're in. So Ainsley would know that Ace Humblepig would know exactly where to go and who to help on this particular day. He knows all the rumours. It is his job to know who needs help, as in the Little Grove.
Then Ainsley would definitely go seek out Mr. Humblepig.
Yeah. So let's go and move ourselves onto the Ace Humblepig's home.
Oh.
So you'd make your way through the Little Grove, travelling through the centre. You'd see people getting ready, people setting up their little stalls. Nothing grand, nothing like... I mean, people want to set this up in one day. They make it as grand as they can. But there's a lot of bustling and a lot of people. There's a lot of children's laughter. Everyone's meeting all their friends from the long winter. Okay, but
I think Ainsley's just got a big smile on his face, and it's just, you know, regards with his little Rin deformity. Like, he's genuinely smiling, and I think he
travelling through the
and I think he's just sort of like waving to people and saying hello and things like that.
Yeah, you'd get a lot of waves back, and you'd get a lot of like, nice to see you again, Ainsley. Come visit us sometime.
Yeah, lovely day of new spring.
Oh, it'd be a wonderful one, just like last year.
Yeah, can't wait to see what happens this year.
You get a lot of greetings all along the way. Everyone would be trying to give little treats to your capybara. I forgot the name of already. Chester's. Chester. All the kids would be running up to him because they're all in the centre, so they don't see mounts super often, and they haven't seen one all winter, so they're running up trying to give him all the treats.
Oh, that's cute.
Do you let him?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, Chester's gobbling up all these treats as he's walking along.
He's quite greedy.
He's definitely slowed down a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Eating all these treats.
Yeah.
Okay. But you get there eventually. You stumble upon the Ace Humblepig's home.
What's the music? The fuck is this music from? I recognise it, I cannot think what it's from. It's Animal Crossing, isn't it?
It's the Able Sisters.
Yes, I do.
Shop.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah.
So, this is Sir Ace's home. What do you do?
Ainsley would dismount off Chester and just check his leg and make sure he's okay and give him a little rub on the head. He would sort of grab his coat and kind of make sure he's looking all presentable, and the ride from his the clubhouse through the village hasn't kind of messed up his sort of look. He'd kind of like lick his hand and swish back his little quills, and then pop back on his bandana, and then he'd go up and knock on the door.
Yeah, and you'd soon see. Hold on. trying to work out how to use this thing.
That's right.
You'd soon see Sir Ace Humblepig step out from his little home. As he opens the door, you can see that it goes down into a little tunnel behind this little tree, and he lives in his own little burrow, and he comes scuffling up, and he greets you with recognition. Has seen you many times before, given you little tasks before, and he says, "Oh, Ainsley, it's been a while."
Ah, Mr. Humblepig, it's so nice to see you again.
Oh, the winters feel so long without seeing you there, Ainsley.
It does. Every winter seems to get a bit longer each year, it feels like.
Oh, it certainly does. Oh, and every spring I come across that everyone needs my help. Oh, of course, it's no bother. It's hard to keep up with all these tasks.
Oh, well, that's why I'm here to help.
Oh, it's just really good to see you. I really did need the extra hands today.
Well,
and Chester, I can't ignore my beautiful boy back there.
Chester kind of silently comes up and kind of like lowers his head so Mr. Humblepig can ruffle his sort of the front of his sort of
and he
head.
does, and he ruffles his little cheeks.
Yeah.
And he gives him a little treat that he pulls out of his bag. Like, "Don't tell Ainsley now." And he tips his hat to him and steps back onto his little step in front of you.
Ainsley sort of sits there and he's like,
Well, what can I help you with, Mr. Humblepig?
Oh my, well, let's get right down to it. Certainly, well, you remember, let me get it out. You remember Wally Wombat?
does he remember Wally Wombat?
You would have seen Wally Wombat around. Wally Wombat is somebody who doesn't really leave his den very often. He very much is a bit of a hermit, but he does rear his head occasionally and brings with him some gems he's found from underneath his home that he is permanently just extending all the time.
Yeah.
But you would know of Wally Wombat. You've probably seen him a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah, Ainsley would nod then and say,
Yeah, I remember Mr. Wombat.
Oh, well, there has been rumours of loud crashing noises coming from his underground cavern.
Oh no.
Oh, I know. Quite concerning. It's not normally as loud as the rumours say. So, I mean, you know, the normal crashing sounds, you know. But this one was very loud, apparently. And he's not been seen this morning, and he usually comes out on the first day of spring at least.
Well, that's quite odd. I best go check it out.
Yeah, so I'd very much like for you to check on Wally Wombat. But if you don't mind, I do have a second one for you as well.
Oh, of course.
Oh, well, would you remember Gerald Duckmore?
Does he remember Gerald Duckmore?
So Gerald Duckmore lives on the Lubbins Lake, which is on the outskirts of the Little Grove. You would have seen him, but he doesn't. He's an old man. He doesn't leave his home very often.
Yeah, then he would again confirm that he remembers Gerald Duckmore.
Yeah. I'm sure you fixed his boat, or somebody did.
Yeah, I think Ainsley would have fixed his boat a couple of times.
I'm sure you fixed his boat a couple of times.
Yeah, I've done a patchwork job or two.
Yeah, and I remember. And I'm sure he was grateful, and he'll be grateful again. No one's seen him this morning either. You know, being on the outskirts there and in the middle of a lake, I do worry about him. And of course,
me too.
and of course his partner.
What's his partner called?
Let me just remember. And his partner, Stan Biggleton Beaver.
Oh, Stan Biggleton Beaver. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Ainsley smiles, yeah.
I remember Stan, of course.
Yes, well, neither of them have been seen this morning, so we were just a little bit worried about them. We want to make sure they get their morning springtime fresh fruits and vegetables and have all the same things as everyone else gets.
Oh, of course. I'll go check in on them for you.
Yes, if you could, please. And don't forget to pop into Miss Rosie before you go. Make sure you can bring some. She's got her fresh cookies this morning. Make sure you bring some to to Wally and the couple on the lake.
Well, of course. I'll check in with Miss Rosie.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ainsley. Oh, you're a lifesaver once again.
That's okay. It's nice to see you again, Mr.
Oh, I must get back to work. I'm sorry. It's so busy this morning.
That's okay, Mr. Humblepig. I'll leave you to your work and I'll go check in on the residents.
Goodbye.
Bye, Mr. Humblepig.
So Ainsley walks down to Chester and kind of silently is just sort of like,
well, that sounds a bit odd. You best go check on him.
And sort of climbs back on, and I think he's going to make his way to Miss Rosie's first, like Mr. Humblepig suggested.
Yeah. So you go through the centre, Miss Rosie. So there we go. Miss Rosie lives near the centre, and she lives mainly where there's a lot of people setting up for the festival right now. She's like right in the centre where all the action happens. She has her own little cafe, and it's very popular among medium and small folk. Obviously, in the centre of the little grove, larger folk can fit, but that's why they were mostly on the outskirts, is because there's the larger, sort of more open plains for them to live. But in the centre, you got Miss Rosie's cafe. And I'll take you, and as you make your way through the travel, we'll take you right there.
No. What's this music from? I can't remember. That's familiar as well.
It is familiar. I can't remember where I got it from now.
Oh, look at that. Does it say on the thing? No. It's good though, I like it.
It's nice relaxing music for the nice relaxing cafe.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere inside is as you can see in the picture. It's warm, it's inviting. There's the smell of coffee, pastries, cakes, and of course plenty of vegetables and things for everyone's taste.
Is it quite busy?
At the moment, it's not, because everyone is outside setting themselves up for the festival. Miss Rosie is doing the exact same. As you step in, she is visible from the front door, and she is at the back making pastries and cookies and cakes.
Yeah, Ainsley will kind of shuffle through. He'd leave Chester outside. He doesn't want to get Chester's muddy feet all over her nice floor. And he would say,
Happy first day of spring, Miss Rosie.
Oh my. Hold 1 second. And you see her fumbling with some flour and it's covering her hands, and she sort of like shakes it off before stepping in to look at you, Ainsley. She's like, oh my, I didn't expect someone to come in so early. I'm not ready yet. I do have some cookies though. Do you want to take some?
Oh, that'd be swell.
First fresh batch of the day.
Oh, thanks, Miss Rosie.
Oh, no worries,
you had
Ainsley.
a nice winter.
Oh, I did. It was quite the easy one this year, actually. Nothing really went awry, and I made plenty of pastries in the time, and I tried to distribute them to everyone, as you know. I tried to do every year, but it's very difficult because there's a lot of snow. But
yeah.
But in my home, it was fairly easy. We managed to get all the ingredients, and well, anyway, I'm rambling again.
That's okay.
You can have some of the freshest batch of the. I'm going to give these out to everybody today. I'm determined to make as many cookies as everyone wants.
Oh, that's awfully swell of you, Miss Rosie. I'm going to take these out to
fuck what their name's again, the Geraldines. Can I just call them the Geraldines?
The Geraldines and
Geraldines.
What was his last name? Gerald
Duckmore.
The Duckmores and
I've forgotten the other person's name. Who else might
You
be
got
going
Wally
to?
Wombat. Stan
And,
Biggleton.
That's it. So, because they're a couple, he's just going to call this. I'm going to write this down because it's too many names.
Yeah.
So it's Gerald Duckmore,
Gerald Duckmore.
Stan
Biggleton.
and
Wally Wombat.
Wally Wombat. So yeah, he'd say he's taking it out to those three as well. He wants to deliver the cookies to those three because they've not been seen this morning.
Oh my, they've not been seen this morning. Oh, well, you best take extra, just in case they can't make it today. That'd be a real shame.
oh, thanks, Miss Rosie. I'm sure I'll find them. They're probably just overslept.
Oh, maybe. I hope they're okay.
Yeah, hopefully.
You know, the winters can be harsh, especially around the Lovins Lake as it freezes.
Yeah, well, hopefully they've not got their boat stuck again.
No, hopefully. Although, you know, they're good at swimming when they can, on a good day.
That's true.
Yeah, you know, you give them my best for me.
Yeah, I will, Miss Rosie. Thank you very much.
That's right. And she hands you a fresh batch of cookies. Enough for everyone.
Yeah, awesome.
And of course Chester as well.
Yeah. I imagine Pearl at this point is probably her family have got to the sort of town centre and she's kind of looking around to see if she's set up her wreath and stuff and like displayed it out maybe and but she's kind of like I kind of want to get away from this a bit. I'm a bit overwhelmed and then so I think maybe she's keeping her eyes out for Ainsley and then I imagine she sees Ainsley come out of Miss Rosie's coffee shop and it's just like, oh, thank goodness, and just sort of rushes over to get away from her family, you know, kind of a bit distracted, like doing their own wreaths and stuff, and she would just walk over to Ainsley and just sort of be like,
Oh, Ainsley, it's great to see you. What a love.
no, I'm trying to get the voice for her down, I was kind of like, a bit lower. Oh, Ainsley, it's nice to see you.
I might change this music because I'm not a fan.
Let me turn it down. It's not turned down right now. Yeah, Pearl would sort of rush up to Ainsley and just sort of say that, and Ainsley would be like,
Oh, Pearl, it's lovely to see you.
and he'd explain to her what's going on, and they'd say their pleasantries and stuff, and Pearl would say hello to Chester, and Ainsley would kind of explain the situation of what he's doing. And would invite Pearl along, and I think Pearl would look back at her family kind of like, oh no, I've got to do that, but also her wreath is like less it's really like more simple and less over the top compared to the setup that her family have got, and she just kind of like shrugs her shoulders and is like, yeah, why not, sort of thing. So they group up.
So they grouped up now and they're travelling through the little grove. Once more they see lots of children gathering and everyone's like sort of moving towards the centre now. It's sort of midday and everyone has woken up at this point. You see some of the more avian species flying down from their perches. They're coming to set theirs up as well. You can smell all sorts of fresh food and vegetables all filling the air with, and even some of the bards have come down from there.
The what?
Some of the bards.
It's the bards.
The bards, as in music
Oh,
people.
right, yes, of course.
So there's plenty of bards around playing different various musics.
Oh, that's nice.
All around the place, and you can really start to feel the festival begin. So who are you going to head to first?
I think let's go see Wally Wombat first.
Wally Wombat first? Okay. So as you head through the centre of the little grove, you do go towards sort of the middle of the little grove's sort of radius from the centre of the tree outwards. You're sort of in the middle now. He's made plenty of his own little caverns that basically go straight down. You've not been inside them before, neither you nor Pearl, would have been inside, but you know where he lives. So as you make it to the outside of his home, what do you do? I haven't got a picture.
So is the cavern just like a straight drop?
Similar to Sir Ace Humblepig's house, there is a door in front that leads down to the caverns.
If like we opened the door, let's knock on the door first.
Yeah, you knock on the door, and you are greeted by Wally Wombat.
Oh, he's cute.
Hang on, I need to change music because I didn't put music on. Where's it going? Is it this one? Can you hear this if I play this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like overlapping there. Oh, it's a bit tense.
Yeah. So Wally Wombat answers the door. He's like, "Oh my gosh, help me!"
Oh, Wally Wombat, what's going on?
Marco, he's trapped behind the wall.
Oh no. This is a job for Ainsley Bristleheart and Pearl.
And Pearl nods and says,
"Quickly, show us the way."
"Quickly, I'm so grateful you're here." You see little tears welling up in his eyes as he tries. He's an old man as well, and he's got grey in his fur, and he's sort of like hobbling along a little bit. He's quite slow, so he's just hobbling along down the little cavern, down these little steps, and he's like, it's over there. You see the big collapse?" And you see in front of you one of the several caverns, tunnels leading in different directions. One of them has completely collapsed in the middle, blocking the way to one of the tunnels.
No.
Marco's behind there and I can't get to him. All I can hear is these shuffling noises in the walls.
Crap. Does it look movable?
You think it looks movable with some time.
How much time?
Neither of you have a tunneling digging speed, as far as I know.
Don't think so. I'll have a look. No, I do have a burrowing feet of 15 feet.
Do you? Okay, well, not that terribly long then. But even so, I think this will be a little mini skill challenge just to see how fast you can do it. So you're going to use your tunneling speed.
Yeah.
So, what skills are there again?
I could make maybe an athletics check for strength.
Athletics? You could do an athletics. Yeah? Do an athletics check for me.
Oh, not very good.
Oh, yeah.
Only an 8.
It's a new day, Mr. Ainsley, and it's you've not really burrowed for a long while. It's just taking you a little bit of extra time today. How does Pearl help?
Would Pearl be able to put guidance on that check?
Yeah.
No, it's afterwards, but
Yeah, that's fine. You do now.
would an 11 make any difference?
It speeds it up a bit. Yeah. Does she want to make any check of her own? What does she want to do?
The music stopped, by the way.
Oh.
You've got to set them all on that little wheel. I would just go and click them through now, but just because otherwise you'll constantly be able to refresh the music.
Oh, that's fine.
Just do it all of them.
They're not all actually in a thing, so I'll just have to do it.
I would just do it for all of them anyway, just so.
I'll do it.
Okay. I'm not sure what she would do. Just having a
Please
look.
get to him quickly. These shoveling sounds have been there for a while. They've never done this already.
Can she try and work out what the shoveling noises might be?
Yeah, you can do a perception check. And maybe do a nature check as well. So perception to hear it, and then like a nature to figure out what it might be.
Oh, fuck's sake, got it on the wrong setting again. Well, I would, because I got a 5, can I use my fated ability to reroll? So, whether by luck or guiding presence, you always seem to find your way. You can choose to reroll any attack, skill check, or saving throw. You decide to do this after your roll, but only before the outcome of the roll has been determined. You can't use each creature again until you complete a long rest. So Pearl will use her fated to bump it up to an 18, if that's alright.
Yeah. Alright. So you perceive there is some shuffling and scuttling noises in the wall. Can you figure out what it is?
She'll do a nature check then. That one.
You can hear it. You can hear a slight scuffling in the wall to Ainsley's right side, and it's kind of a distant shuffling at the moment, but you don't know what it is.
I guess to help, she'll just start trying to move rocks out of the way as well, I guess. What should I do? She's not very athletic or anything, so I don't think she'd be that great at this.
I'd say she just gives a help, so she just gives advantage, I guess. Especially because I think he's got burrowing as well, although he did get an 8.
Right, I got 11 in total.
Oh, 11 in total, yeah. I'll say it doesn't take super long. You've got a burrowing speed. Pearl is helping. Wally is not helping though. He is just sitting back, in almost tears because he's worried about his friend Marco. But you get there in a decent amount of time, and so where are you putting all this dirt? Are you just shoveling behind you or moving it out?
Maybe that's
out
what
of the whole
Pearl's doing. I
place?
think she's probably trying to move it out.
Yeah.
To the side, maybe.
To the side, out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ainsley's like doing the main amount of digging using his burrowing, and then Pearl's kind of moving the dirt so it doesn't get too piled up behind him.
Okay. Yeah. So, as you shuffle and shove this dirt out of the way, the tunnel is revealed before you. It's a dark tunnel. Wally hasn't really been down this tunnel in a little while. He was a bit afraid of the shuffling noises, he tells you, as you reveal the tunnel.
Who is the person down here?
Oh, you don't know.
Ainsley would have asked.
Yeah. So Marco is Wally's beloved pet, a cricket.
Okay.
So, let me just move this. Are you hearing music?
Yeah.
Let me put it on. How do I do it here?
You should just click them all.
Sorry.
It's not that hard. Just click them all as you go.
Oh, there we go, I found it. For sake.
Just click them all. It doesn't take very long. It'll save you a lot of doing this every single time. Trust me.
Just where I am.
I'm sorry.
Read. Okay, so your task is basically to just try and find Marco.
Ainsley will like call out.
Yeah.
Like say Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even get that joke until you just said it.
So stupid. I thought that's what you were going
That's
for.
not what I was going for at all. I just thought, Marco, that's a good name.
Yeah. I think Ainsley will cautiously move down the tunnelled path.
Is that a stealth check?
Yes. Yeah. Pearl would also be moving stealthily, but I think she would cast guidance on herself.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Does Pearl wear armour? Does she not?
Let's have a look. AC is 16. She got scale mail on.
Okay.
So yeah, she does have some armour on.
Okay.
And I think it'd probably be like she would have worn it for the festival anyway. She would have brought her things, and then if she's bringing her things with her with Ainsley, she would have grabbed them before. And Ainsley is always ready for combat-y stuff. So yeah, Ainsley's moving up with his normal stealth, which is not the best either. But rolling so fucking bad. But Pearl will do hers with guidance. Oh, it's a disadvantage as well. Fuck. It's still better than Ainsley's. It's still a 14.
Yeah, okay. 14, yeah.
But it's still not great overall.
Alright, let me just check the perception of these things.
He would have left Chester behind, by the way.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to bring Chester into a tunnel.
I don't think Chester could fit in this tunnel anyway.
Okay.
Small for... Well, actually he could, because Wally is a medium creature.
No, I don't think he'd want to.
Okay. Alright. Okay. So, you're calling out for Marco as you walk through this dark tunnel. You can hear shuffling, as Pearl would point that out to Ainsley, I assume.
Yeah,
the
I
shuffling.
think that's when he would start being quieter and start sneaking up. He's got his little short bow ready.
So you hear shuffling in the right wall next to you. You think it could be in the tunnel over, it could be in the wall, you're not really sure. But you're walking through, stepping quietly, looking out for Marco, this little tiny green cricket. You could be anywhere. You want to do any checks to see if you can see him?
Yeah, I mean he's looking out for him.
Yeah. Do you want to do a perception check for me?
I think probably Pearl's better at perception. Not by much.
Or maybe, what would it count as? An investigation check or something?
It's up to you. You're the GM for once, so you tell me.
I think this one probably investigation, to be honest, actually.
Okay. Not great, either of them. I'm mostly going to be rolling on Ainsley for skill checks, I think.
Yeah,
because
that's fine. You could be your main.
Yeah. I think Pearl's more like a sidekick.
Yeah.
So unless it's something specific for her. 14 though, that's not bad.
Pretty good, pretty good. Okay. So off in the distance, you can see a little bit shimmer of green.
Green?
What colour are crickets?
Oh, green. Well, brown, aren't they?
Yeah, they can be brown. They can be green.
Yes, they can be green. Like grasshoppers are usually more green though. Well, let's sneak up on this green to get closer, to get a proper look and see what we can.
Yeah. Halfway on your way to the green cricket, you are ambushed, I'm afraid, by two sneaky.
Oh no!
They burst from the wall, breaking the wall down. Crumbling bits of wall fall next to your feet, Ainsley. They heard you, I'm afraid, although Pearl was as stealthy as a stealthy mouse. I'm afraid, Ainsley, your prickles just tapped the wall a little bit too much as you were walking past, and they are now. You are surprised, unfortunately, because of your stealth roll.
Is Pearl surprised?
Pearl is not surprised, but Ainsley is surprised.
Okay, fuck. Am I rolling initiative then?
You can roll initiative.
Cool, I'll drag my.
Change music.
Initiative. Ainsley's rolling fucking so bad.
Yeah, he is. Poor Ainsley.
I was rolling a tiny bit better, but not much better.
You can just hear one back from behind you, like, no, oh my gosh, that was the whole thing the whole time.
The what?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay.
They're not as big as the picture. We don't really need tokens on here. They're just representation.
Yeah, it's just like roll initiative.
Oh yeah. So
You've got the little initiative order up. Oh, so it's this little clock at the side.
Clock at the side. Oh, this one. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why it didn't put them on. I'll re-roll them and then change it. Oh, it did roll them. Right, did it? Pearl got. No, so it should actually be 9. There we go.
Plus 2. So it's this plus 2.
Have you got a stat sheet for them?
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Well, not really, because Pearl's got an 11.
They've got plus 2 on that, so.
I think that's more than Pearl's. Let me double check what her deck says. Yeah, she's got plus 0, so.
How do I add them to the total?
So, click on one of them, press, or you can right click on them, and then you'll have to pull them down a bit. Because, no, you'll have to pull the tokens down. Add 10.
I see.
And then just change that to an 11.
No, it's 13.
Oh, sorry. And then click the cog, and then descending. There you
go. Cool. Okay. So these two.
And Ainsley's surprised as well.
Ainsley's
That's so bad.
Yeah, Ainsley is surprised.
He's not gonna get he's basically missing 2 goes. He'll die.
So these giant centipedes come running up to you. They look gross and they look horrible, and they don't look like they are sentient. You know that insects in this land are generally not particularly sentient the same way you are. Just more of a sort of bestial creature. And this one is gonna attack you because you are surprised.
Attacking Ainsley?
Yep, Ainsley is getting attacked. 13 plus 4.
That definitely
It's gonna
hits.
hit, yeah. 1, 4 plus 2. Plus 2. Oh my god, you are so unlucky right now.
How much damage?
6 damage.
Ow, Ainsley's hurt already.
Jesus, Louises. Remember you can run away?
Yeah.
This other one is going to attack Ainsley.
Oh wait,
as
my
well.
armor class isn't actually right because it's tracking it via leather armor, but it's not tracking it there. So I can't actually wear leather armor.
What can you wear?
Because of my spiny quills. I can't actually wear armor, but my thing is 14 plus my dex mod.
Okay.
So my armor class should actually be 16.
Okay.
So would have that hit still? 13 plus what was it?
It was 4, sadly.
Fuck.
It does still hit, yeah. But good to know. This next one's also going to try and hit you. Plus 4, doesn't hit you.
No, that doesn't hit.
And it misses. bites wide, little thingies missing you. What are you gonna do?
It's Pearl's go, right? She's not surprised.
Pearl's go, she's not surprised.
Pearl has to heal Ainsley, so she's going to use Cure Wounds. Oh, which one's better actually? Because no, she's going to Shield of Faith as a bonus action.
Yeah.
On Ainsley, that makes more sense because it's if he's got +2 to his AC, that makes them a lot less likely to hit. So she's concentrating on that with her bonus action. That also frees her up to try to attack one of them. Can she see if these things seem particularly dexterous?
You could do a nature check.
Yeah, she will. She's quite good at nature as well. 14.
Yeah, with that you would know that they are more dexterous than they are strong.
In that case, then she will try and hit them with her mace. It's not great either, though, to be honest. I don't know. No, I'm going to Sacred Flame them instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, DC 12 dex save.
Okay. Let's have a look. And they pass because that's a +2.
No damage then. But she will kind of stand in the way of Ainsley.
Yeah.
It currently has 18 AC actually.
Yeah, pretty good.
Out of 16.
Because he's got spiny quills, does that like hurt anyone that tries to attack him?
It just means he can't wear armour.
Oh.
He can do something called Curl Up as an action.
Okay.
Exposing attackers to a wall of your toughened quills, and while curled up, I can't move or cast spells or attack, but my base armor class becomes 19. But I can also not benefit from any dexterity bonus to armor.
A little bit
I
like
can
that
still
sort
use
of thing.
shields apparently.
Okay.
I'm not proficient in shields anyway because I'm a rogue.
Yeah.
And then any creature that misses you with a melee attack with a card that takes 2d4 points of piercing damage from your sharp quills. And if a creature hits you while it's curled up, you are knocked prone in your space at the end of your turn.
Okay.
So it's kind of risky, but it can be really good.
Okay. Well, seeing as Pearl is in the way, they're going to attack Pearl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 10.
Miss, definitely a miss in Pearl. She's got a decent AC of 16.
Nice. So one misses, one goes wide.
I think it's 16 anyway. Hold on, let me just unclick the shield.
I mean, it certainly isn't 10,
It does
so.
change it. Okay, good. Yeah, it's definitely 16.
Yeah, cool. So one misses, it's dexterous, but it's not strong, and it tries to grab her, but misses. And the other one also aims and does hit, I'm afraid, with a +4 on that.
Yeah, just seeing if she's got any reactions. I don't think she does. Just getting used to these abrasion abilities.
Yeah.
Glide, that would not be useful. Wing flap. No. Touch, no. No, she's not got anything.
No. Okay, well this centipede has hit her, I'm afraid, so that is a d4 plus. Oh, they're rolling good damage
Fucking
over here.
hell. She has to make a con save as well.
Did she?
Yeah, to keep her concentration on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, you are rolling not good. But that's their turn's done, so now it's Pearl's turn.
She has to heal. She's gonna heal Ainsley, whose AC has dropped back to 16. Yeah, she's gonna have to cure wounds Ainsley. So she's using a spell slot. Her last spell slot of the day. Level 1. 6 healing back. That gets them back to 4, which is good.
Nice, that is good.
She's going to flee back her movement speed, so I think it's 25 feet. Just double check that. Yeah, 25 feet. And then
bear in mind attack of opportunity, which
Oh, fuck, yeah, you're right. Yeah, they would both have it as well. She can't do that then. She has to just stand there. But Ainsley will actually move up to attack this one. So Ainsley will... And think because Pearl is there, he would actually get a sneak attack as well, which does help. So he will try and hit with his rapier. On the one on the left. Oh, actually I could speak with bugs.
Yeah. Remember, they're not sentient, though.
Yeah, that's true.
They are just bugs.
Can I try and make like some kind of... I don't know if this will be an action. You tell me if it is or isn't. But can Ainsley make some kind of like performance check with, like, because he can speak with bugs, to like distract them?
Yeah. Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Bonus action, I'll say.
Bonus action, okay, that makes sense. Not great, an 11.
It's 11. Let me see how smart these things are.
I'm rolling so bad. It's got a +5 to it.
Yeah, you are rolling real fast. I'm not gonna lie. So 11. So what were you trying to do?
He's trying to distract them.
In what way?
He was like, because he can speak to bugs, he's going to sort of be like calling out things to kind of more get their attention.
So he's trying to like encourage them to go towards him more.
Yeah, I think so.
In a more like, I'm one of you sort of bug fashion, or...
I think just more like shouting out things that, because they're speaking in bug, I'm like, in his eyes, he's like, that would be quite surprising. That saying things that they would sort of understand maybe in some level.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get their attention to draw their attacks towards him more, I think, and or make them sort of throw them off.
Throw them off, disorientate them.
Yeah.
Well, let's do an intelligence save for both of them and see how thrown off they are.
Okay.
I'll say they're real dumb. So we'll see. Yep. And that's a -5. So.
Jesus.
Okay, yeah, they're real dumb. They are both thoroughly distracted by you. They both sort of look at you, Ainsley, and they're just kind of like do little bug noises at you. And do you understand them back, or do they just understand you?
Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas with the creatures of the beast subtype that represent insects, spiders, worms. So it's not really. It's not like a language or understand each other. It's more just like I can communicate with them, just like simple
so like
ideas.
a dog wagging their tail type thing.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to think of how.
So he's more just trying to taunt them and get them to like focus on, like, so if, say, imagine with a dog where it's like a distracted dog that's sort of going for someone else, you might like clicking your fingers and
draw them
like,
towards you, sort of thing.
Yeah, and he's making kind of clicking sounds with his mouth and stuff, and he just wants to get them to focus on him because Pearl's hurt.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that but works on both of them in that case then.
Cool, and I still have my action, so he will attack the one closest to Pearl with his rapier. Oh, I rolled really well. There's 8 points of damage because the sneak attack would be active because Pearl's within 5 feet.
And that thoroughly hits, and I mean, you did more damage than you even needed to. And one of them is thoroughly dead. How do you kill it?
He just, like, with the distracting words, I imagine almost like they coil up like a snake sort of thing, like cobra kind of thing, and it kind of reveals a weak spot, and then he just sort of dives in the way of Pearl, like a little jump, and then just goes like that.
Yeah.
And gets them.
Nice. And this other one is thoroughly distracted towards you, even with you killing its friend.
Yeah, and then he sort of like, so I imagine Pearl's like sort of was like here kind of thing, and he kind of like, now this one's dead, he kind of steps up the side of this one.
What you did.
If you click on the token, then click on the circle thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
You'll have to move the token over. It's annoying, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. So yeah, Ainsley sort of steps up to this one.
Did. Going for the turn. So Ainsley, you step up. This one is still sort of like hovering above you. They are a little bit bigger than you. They are giant centipedes. And you can see its all of its thousands legs sort of wriggling around, is trying to get you with its little choppy chop things. I can't remember the name of. Yeah,
they're like is it something like pincers or not pincers?
Yeah,
what are they called?
I can't remember what they're called.
Mandibles.
Mandibles, I think. Yeah.
Is it mandibles?
I think it's mandibles. But yeah, he's going to attack you, my bird. He's going to attack you with a attack. Oh, and he doesn't hit you with a 4.
Silly.
Okay, it's Pearl's turn now.
He is out of spell slots. She's more than 5? Is she more than 5 feet away? She's not, is she? Because she would have taken
depends on where you think she moved.
No, she was within 5 feet of both of them because they both did attack. So she's going to disengage.
Yeah.
And get back 25 feet away.
Cool. Yep.
She is going to call out to Ainsley and just be like, "Be careful, Ainsley."
No.
And then Ainsley's go.
Yeah, Ainsley's go now.
He's like,
"I've got this, Pearl, don't worry."
And he is going to curl up as an action. He wants to try and, because now he's baited them. And like with the talking to insects, he wants to use his curl up action, which raises his AC to 19. And that's his turn. Okay.
Centipede is going to attack you again. He is thoroughly taunted towards you, my bitch. With a +4, does that hit you?
Doesn't. And because he misses, he takes 8 points of piercing damage when he hit off max damage.
Damn. And the initial 4 damage is all you needed, and this guy is dead as well. Well done, my bitch. You defeated your first combat.
Nice.
How do you defeat the last one?
Yeah, he just does it as I said. He curls up into a ball after taunting them. His pincers like throws up his trench coat, and the pincers all little spines on his back, and he just curls up into a ball and just holds there tightly. And as it comes going in to bite him, it just misses, and then just scratches it, gets his eyes all pierced in the piercings, and it just
stabs itself in your quills.
Yeah, and it just like sort of falls down dead.
Oh yeah. And all the green bug juice like falls, comes out of its like brains, and it's like still wriggling around a little bit as you sort of peel it from your spines.
Yeah,
But they are thoroughly dead. The scuttling noises are no more. You're now just in this empty cavern. Let me try and put some music up. Not really sure what.
You enjoy creepy music. I thought that was quite good.
This one?
Oh no, not.
No. Where's my creepy music though?
If you refresh the page, like move it back and forth, that's sometimes be a good way of doing it.
Don't cheat.
Oh no, I'm just saying. There you go.
Upsetting thing.
And then also if you I would clear the turn order at the beginning of every combat, just so you know. Because otherwise you'll find it annoying when you next go to it. Do you know how to do that? So you clicked on it twice to close it. If you click this gear and then go remove all turns at the bottom of that.
Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah. So the little green speck at the end of the tunnel still remains.
Yeah, Ainsley sort of moves up towards it, still kind of stealthily because he doesn't want to trigger any more of these scuttling creatures, but it quietly moves up towards the little green speck, hoping it's Marco.
Yeah, do you call out to him?
Yeah, he does.
Do you speak in your bug language?
He does actually, yeah, or like gestures to try and comfort him.
Yeah. So you peer down where this little green speck is, and you see a shivering, tiny little green cricket. His little antennas are down like a dog.
Oh, no.
He's all like
Really sad.
And he looks up at you like with those Puss in Boots eyes.
Yeah, and Ainsley just says,
"Come on, Marco, Let's get you back to Wally.
You hear him chirp. And
That's really good.
And he jumps up onto you, into your arms. I assume that you're holding.
He'll pick him up in his arms and start walking him back down the tunnel.
Yeah. So you go
The
back.
music school.
That's right, because we're going to leave anyway.
Okay.
Go back to Wally's cave.
And
I don't have music for this one. What do you like? Do you want?
I don't mind, but just start clicking all of these as you're playing because it keeps turning off. It's okay.
My best.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. You're just making your life harder.
There you go. You can have that one.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, Ainsley will go up with Pearl, make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
And then bring Marco to Wally.
Mhm. So Wally is really thankful. You can see Marco in your arms, and the cricket immediately stops, like shivering and shaking as soon as he sees Wally, and he's like, "Oh my God, Marco! I thought I lost you under the rubble. I'll never let you go down the tunnels again, without me anyway."
Ainsley just says,
You gotta be careful, Wally. There's awful centipedes down in your tunnel. There might be more.
Centipedes? Well, that was the scuffling, right?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Maybe you can help me get rid of them eventually, if I see any more.
Of course. We'd be happy to help. Do whatever we can.
I'm awfully grateful so far. You've helped me get Marco back.
Well, he seems awful happy to see you, Wally.
Oh, we spent all winter together. I wouldn't know what to do if I lost him.
Well, you don't have to lose him today.
Oh, that's thanks to you. Here, let me get you a cuppa. You deserve it.
Oh, and here's some cookies for you from Miss Rosie.
Oh my, she's such a lovely gal. She brings me cookies all through the winter as well.
Oh, that's so nice of her.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done.
Maybe we can all sit down and have a nice rest, cookie from Miss Rosie and a nice cuppa.
Oh, I'm sure we will. When I'll meet you at the festival. Now that I've got Marco back, I was a bit worried I wasn't going to be able to come. I was just too worried.
Oh, well, we'll definitely see you there, won't we, Pearl?
and Pearl nods and says,
Yes, of course. We'll see you there.
Oh, I'll see you both later. I'm really grateful. I'll try and make you something and bring it to the festival with me. What's your favourite colours?
I quite like red.
What, red for
Pearl
you?
would say blue.
And blue for you. Oh, perfect colours with a perfect combination, and I couldn't ask for better neighbours.
Oh, cheers, Wally.
Well,
Glad to help.
thank you so much. And Marco thanks you as well. And he kind of holds him up in the cup of his hands, and you see the cricket kind of like nod to you. He seems a bit smarter than a normal bug somehow.
Oh, clever. Yeah, I think we take a little short rest, if that's okay.
Yeah, take a little short rest with Wally and his cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you settle down with a nice cup of tea. It's a little bit cold and a little bit dank in Wally's home. You can see he doesn't really clean it himself. He does occasionally get somebody that comes along to try and check on him occasionally. He is a hermit after all.
Yeah.
He just hangs out with his friend Marco in his cave, making pretty gems and pretty little artifacty gems. Oh dear. Fair enough. Got
Yeah.
you.
So bad, what the fuck? That's my only hit there.
Oh, okay. Well, so when you finish your little cuppa with Wally, do you head anywhere else?
Yeah, we go out and say goodbye to Wally, and then Pearl's looking a bit beat up though. But she got no spell slots either. I think we'll head out anyway to the Lovin's Lake and see Mr. Biggleton and Mr. Duckmore.
Yeah. 1 moment away. Let me try and find. So, as you head out to the outskirts of the little grove, you travel. You get a lovely view of some of the houses on your way. There are less people around this area, as most of the folk have headed already towards the centre where the festival will have kind of started by this time, but not quite. Everyone is still preparing for the most part. The smells are less strong in this area, but they definitely are wafting down from the centre, even here, because everyone in the little grove celebrates the first day of spring. Let me just get up next quick. So do you ride on Chester as you go through this centre? You have Pearl just walking next to you, probably keeping pace with poor old Chester's leg quite easily. Unless she rides on him as well?
No, she would walk alongside him, I think. I was going to say, do you want to play roleplay Pearl, but I'll play her in combat? Just because it makes a bit more sense for me to have a main character and then a side.
For now, it's better if you just play Pearl.
Okay.
Well, I can play Pearl for now if you want, but then when you start getting more, because there are other side characters that you can have on your party if you want.
Okay, yeah, I don't mind. I'm happy to play her still, I'm just saying.
But if you want me to play it for now, okay.
Yeah, you can do her role playing in terms of voicing and stuff if you want.
Yeah, you can do that for now if you want. But when it gets to later, I don't think I can do so many.
I'll just do it then, it's fine. I don't want to confuse it. Yeah, then Ainsley and Pearl would just be chatting away as they head towards the Lovin's Lake to see Mr. Bigglesworth and is it Bigglesworth? Biggleton and Mr. Duckmore.
Yeah. Let me just get up the quest. I'm trying to find where the start of it is, which is extremely annoying. 1 inch. Okay.
And the music died again.
It's okay. Moving over. So, you approach the Lovin's Lake, which is just an oxbow sectioned off from the main river, which is the River Aula, River of Harvest.
How do you spell that?
Aulla. So the Lovin's Lake is connected to an oxbow lake linked to the fast-running River Aula, running River of Harvest.
Okay, cool.
The Lovin's Lake is approximately 30 foot deep with slow flowing, almost stagnant water. It's home to many species of fish, though it's distant enough from the little grove that it's home to only to a loving elderly couple, Gerald and Stan. The Lovin's Lake freezes over in the winter, but by the first day of spring has defrosted completely and is back to its shimmering blue glow.
Oh yeah, Ainsley and Pearl make their way round the edge of the lake, and Ainsley might sort of splash his feet in the water a little bit, just to I appreciate the lack of ice, because I imagine he would have at least visited here once during the winter.
Yeah, probably.
And then eventually makes his way around the side to the couple's home.
Yeah. You will know that the couple's home is smack in the centre of this lake.
Oh, it's in the centre.
Unreachable by normal means of walking.
Oh, fuck.
Usually, guests take the boats that are usually moored on your side of the lake, as opposed to...
Is there any boats there now?
If you look around, you will see 2 boats in the short distance.
I think we'd leave Chester behind.
You go up to the boats?
But yeah, we'll go up to the boats. Like on the dock, leave Chester on the dock and then...
Yeah, so it's only a tiny little dock, and you look at the boats, and you see they are damaged.
Oh no. How badly?
I mean, just keep... No, do an investigation check.
Okay. God.
It's a really bad investigation.
Yeah, I'm trolling really badly. It's
I
so
think even
badly.
guidance is not going to save you on that one,
No.
I'm afraid. So you think the boats are fine? For the most part.
I mean, I still can see they're damaged.
You can see
right?
they're damaged, but you don't know how damaged they are.
Extent they are. I mean, if I can see they're damaged, I'm not going to ride in them. He's not gone stupid. It's just...
The ice has gotten into the wood and expanded it, and as it's melted you can see just the leftover expanded wood is just swelled.
Just checking if Pearl's got anything. Park, no she doesn't. Didn't take mending. Well,
I will say that Pearl is a bird.
yeah, it's true. But she can't fly. She's not got flying speed.
Which I think is stupid.
She's got gliding. And slow your fall glide short distances. When falling, you can use your reaction to spread your arms, stiffening your wing feathers and slow your descent.
Probably about 50 feet to the centre where the house is.
Well, she can jump quite high though, and then glide.
There's plenty of trees around.
So she can bonus action, she can use a powerful feathered arm to propel herself upward a distance equal to half your movement speed. She can propel herself up to like 15 feet nearly. But she can't do it while you're wearing a heavy armour, so she'll have to unequip her armour. And then she can glide over from... How far is it across to the centre of the lake?
From the edge of the lake, it's probably about 50 feet to the centre where the house is.
Oh, here we go, glide. If you would fall at least 10 feet in this way, you may fly up to your movements in one direction you choose, or you cannot choose to move upward, landing in this space. So I could move up to 25 feet. Would that be far enough?
No, you'd land in the water halfway.
Fuck. Can't really get across then, can I?
I'll say hedgehogs can swim.
Yeah, it's true. I think it might have to be swimming.
Pearl can't swim now.
No. I think Ainsley will have to swim across. Yeah, I've got nothing. I've got nothing that can help.
You've got 2 boats sitting right next.
They're broken though. I mean, can I try and fix them?
You can try.
I don't really have anything to do that with, so I'm not
That's
sure.
where the skill checks come in, right?
And what have I got? Got some rope.
There's plenty of trees around you. Plenty of
I haven't really got any equipment for that, I don't think.
plenty of
I'm just looking to see if I've got any equipment that would help. No, I really don't. I can't fix these. I'd have to take them back to town to fix them. So, Ainsley's swimming across.
Yeah.
Pearl will cast guidance on him.
Okay. You don't need any check to swim across. You can swim.
Yeah, he'll swim across to the house.
Okay. So you make it to Gerald and Stan's house. Stan is nowhere to be seen currently, but you can see Gerald worriedly looking, staring intently down at the water.
Yeah, Ainsley will move up and he'll just be like,
Everything alright, Mr. Duckmore?
Oh my gosh, you gave me a fright there.
Sorry,
Jeez,
I didn't
you
mean
know
to.
better than to walk up and startle me from behind there, young man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Duckmore, I didn't mean to.
And here he is in his full glory.
oh, he's so
Mr.
cute.
Gerald Duckmore.
Yeah, he just sort of climbs out the water dripping all wet and sort of shakes himself off as best he can.
Young man, why did you not use my boat?
He would have left his like clothes on with Pearl. He's not completely stupid. I think he would have left all his equipment there as well.
Yeah.
Apart from like a dagger, maybe would have held in his mouth just in case something came along.
Piranhas.
Yeah. So he said,
Oh, the boat's all smashed up.
Oh, who would have done such a smashed up? Quite intense.
Well, they look a bit broken. I don't know who would have done it.
Oh, in any case, well, now you're here, maybe you can help me. He kind of looks nervously up to the house and then back down to the water.
Where's Stan?
Stan's sleeping and he's been you know how he is, he doesn't wake up unless I wake him up, and I haven't woken him up yet.
Why not?
Well, you see, and you see him kind of like blush a little bit in the way that a duck can, and you see him sort of shuffle and paddle his feet on the side, and then he pushes up his glasses as they slip down his beak.
yeah.
Don't tell Stan.
You can tell me, Mr. Duckmore. I'll keep it to myself.
Don't tell Stan, but I've lost my wedding ring in the water.
Oh no, that's awful.
Oh, he'll tell me if he finds out. You mustn't tell him, young man.
I won't. Don't worry, Mr. Duckmore. Maybe I can help you find it, though.
Oh, that would be most... you can see... my eyes are not what they once were. I cannot see where I'm going underwater these days.
Well, where did you drop it?
Oh, that's a good question, young man. I'm not... It's around here, but it could be around there. And he points really far off in the distance.
Ainsley sort of scratches his chin and looks a bit concerned, being able to find this. So he's going to he'll say he wants to help, and he's going to just quickly go talk to Pearl.
Yeah.
So he'll swim back across and then explain the situation to Pearl, and just having a look at it. Yeah, okay, so she is going to cast light on Ainsley, on like his on his nose, so you
Like
can
Rudolph.
yeah, like Rudolph,
Yeah.
yeah, so you can see a bit better. And then she'll also cast guidance on him because only one of them's concentration, and then he'll swim to the spots that Gerald said to, and then start diving into the water to see if he can find the wedding ring.
So I think this is going to be one of the skill check things where you can find it or you might not. You know. So
it's
Ainsley,
a skill challenge.
It's a skill challenge.
Okay, it's a best of 5.
Best of 5. We'll see if we go.
Okay. Can Ainsley, between each one, go back to Pearl to get more guidance?
Yeah. No reason why not.
Okay.
Apart from it's a bit meta, but
Yeah, well, guidance is a broken spell.
it's a
so-
broken spell. I'm not against it.
Yeah, he'll do that then. So he Can he use an acrobatics check to try and like swim like quite fast to like cover more ground so he can sort of like he's gonna like really use like his...
So what's he doing? Is he just skimming the surface and looking down?
I think if he's using acrobatics, that's like a very dexterous thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what he's doing is he's getting on the side of the bank and he's climbing up on the side of Chester, and he's doing like a big old flip to go into the water to get really deep down, rather than having to use his energy to swim down. I don't think Chester can swim.
Oh,
it's got his dodgy leg. But Chester's going to stand on the air, like on the edge of the dock, and then Ainsley will like do a flip off of him as high as he can.
Yeah.
So instead of using his energy to like swim down, where he'd have to like come back up quicker, he's using his acrobatics to get like really deep down with a big dive.
Okay, yeah.
So that way,
I can't remember, I don't know if I said, but it's about 30 feet deep.
Yeah, but he's just doing it as deep. He's just going as like best he can.
To get as far as you can, and
exactly, and then
as much ground as you
can. So he's not wasting air, basically.
Yeah.
So if he could use an acrobatics to do that to sort of get deeper into the water without having to use as much energy, is that possible?
That's possible. It's a good idea, but I will still say as far as you can go, there is still limited air.
I imagine it's quite a hard DC.
It's a hard DC, yeah.
He's still going to do it with guidance.
Okay.
And do his first one with guidance. So, okay, and then guidance. Okay, 23. That's pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. Very, very well done check. You basically are like an otter, just like right down, already to the bottom, as fast as you can. You are skimming the surface like one of those fish that, like, I can't remember what they're called, but you know the ones, the sandfish.
Yeah.
You know, they skim the surface of the water, and you're just like snuffling around looking for this ring. And anything else you try and do?
He's going to keep doing that, keep repeating that process, and then he's going to, between each dive, he's also, I suppose he can't really use both dives for guidance on the investigation, then can he really? It doesn't make much sense.
What do you mean?
Well, if he's returning and then getting guidance cast on him for the acrobatics check.
No, you can't repeat it.
No, so I think he really just has to just rely on his luck, really, for this. Could he possibly then... I don't know if survival really works. It's usually track stuff, isn't it?
Perception, investigation.
I think he will try and use his perception to try and just like, instead of like, I imagine investigation is quite like close up and really like examining and like digging through stuff. I will
say like there are rocks and crevices under this river and lake that you could try and investigate in between.
I think he's going to do a general sweep first with his perception to try and just get a good amount of coverage on the area to see if he can spot anything out of the ordinary or anything where he feels like it might have like dropped in that area. So he's going to make a perception check.
Yeah. Oh. And you see nothing, I'm afraid. You're sweeping the dirt floor. You're making really good ground, making really good cover. You've basically covered half of this lake already, but still nothing.
Fuck. Can he use? Because he's actually proficient. I've not put it on here, but I'm sure when I was making him, I did this as part of his background. I don't know why it's not. Put it on here, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not proficient in it. If I just added it, could have sworn I fucking added it. I thought he was maybe good at calligraphy. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I just made that up.
What's that? Tools, supplies. What's
Thieves'
that?
tools and man vehicles.
No, what's that one? Tools.
Calligrapher supplies. Yeah, he's not got. No, that's fine. Because folk hero doesn't. Let me just check the folk hero background. So that it gets a tool proficiency. Oh, it does. I took, for some reason it's added vehicles land, but I wouldn't have taken that.
No.
Yeah, one type of land. Oh, you get both. So I don't know why it's not added that. Which is a bit annoying. So I will just add that on now if that's alright.
Yeah. Need to have it the whole time.
Spell that right. There we go. And I think calligrapher's probably intelligence.
Probably. Don't really know, to be honest.
So fix that as well. So can he use his calligrapher's supplies to sort of start mapping out the different parts of, as he comes back out, like get out a bit of like paper with his supplies, and then start like drawing out a map of the lake and start covering the different areas of it.
Do a little check to see how well you can remember and write this map.
Check.
Every time you come up for air.
Yeah, it's better than a lot of my other skills, so not by much, but
not bad.
13. Not the best, but not the worst either.
He's proficient in it.
Yeah, that includes his proficiency. His intelligence mod is +0, so
I think because he's proficient, I think it just passes.
He would have guidance on this as well, because this makes sense that he's stopping, doing a check, and then so actually the check would be 15.
Okay, yeah, he passes.
Okay, cool. So he maps out the areas that he's been in, and then he's like, I'm not going back to those areas, and then maybe like moves around to the edge of the lake with doing that flip into the water again on Chester, and then he's really going to try and get then he's really going to try and like search in different areas with investigation, I think, because there's not much else I can do in terms of, I've got the light on me, I've got, that's giving me as much as I can get really from this.
Yeah. Do you think Pearl can help you at all? Pearl can do some checks. She got any spells or magic or anything she can use?
She's not got any spells that can help really. She's got friends.
What does that do?
No.
What does it do?
Advantage on charisma checks directed at one creature that isn't hostile.
Can it be stupid creatures or like bestial creatures? I will say there are fish in this lake.
I mean, she can ritually cast Speak with Animals, actually. Yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. Let's ritually cast Speak with Animals and see if we can find a fish to talk to.
Yeah.
And then also cast Friends on the fish when we find it. So Ainsley's going to find a fish and kind of like try and point it out to Pearl.
There's a lot of fish in this lake. You don't even need to try and find a fish.
Yeah, if Pearl just like leans down,
if you just put a little sprinkle of cookie in this water,
yes, that's what she'll do. That makes perfect
sense.
Fish
will swarm those cookies. It's been winter. They are hungry.
Yeah, 100% she'll do that then.
Yeah. So Pearl leans against this, leans against the bankment, and she leans down and sprinkles some cookie in the water, and lots of fish come rushing to the surface, glub, 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 at the surface of these cookies. What does she say to them?
She'll just ask them whether they've seen any like ringed objects fall, like holding it up like that, and then she cast Friends on one of them, and then make a...
What check do you think this would be?
Persuasion check?
Yeah, I think persuasion with advantage. I don't think I do a lot.
Yeah, it would give you advantage with Friends. Yeah. It does say at the end that the creature becomes hostile to you and does realise you've used magic to influence its mood, so...
Oh, so the fish just goes humph and all sort of swims away.
Kind of thing, so... but we're still going to try it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just talk with the fish.
No, I need to try and do this with advantage, I think.
I mean, I was going to give you advantage anyway, because I like the idea. So.
Well, I got 18.
Yeah, okay, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So it's pass. Did really well.
I think that's 3 passes, right?
Is it 3?
Calligraphy, the acrobatics, and then Pearl's Persuasion.
Oh, yeah, so it is. So you pass the finding the ring test on a little bit. And Ainsley, with the help of some fish, leading him down to a specific crevice in a specific part of the lake, far away from where Gerald was telling you to go, to be honest. It's like on the other side.
Oh, blimey.
And these fish lead you. Do you grab it from the lake floor?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a nice ring, just nice metallic ring. You would notice that, you would have noticed before when you'd seen Gerald, that he doesn't wear it on his arms. He doesn't really have normal arms. He wears it on his leg like a duck.
Oh, that's cute.
You know, he wears a ring on his leg. So do you bring it back up to him?
Yeah, he brings it back up to Gerald.
Oh my! Oh, don't careful now. Oh my gosh! Thank you.
Mum's the word.
Oh, please, Mum's. He's not going to be happy with me, but I don't know how to express my thanks to you, young man.
That's all right, as long as you got it now. And well, if you come over the other side of the lake, Pearl's got some cookies waiting for you from Miss Rosie.
Oh my gosh, I can't turn down some cookies. Hang on. I was gonna make a fresh breakfast in bed with fresh springtime orange juice. But for what I stand for, breakfast in bed can be very romantic on the first day of spring.
I agree, that sounds lovely.
But I couldn't do it without my ring. Just trying to get the ingredients was but you've saved me a lot of grief and a lot of heartache and yes, I will accept some cookies. And you see him just like hop onto the water as a duck does, and he paddles his little feet over to the shore with you, I assume, swimming next to him.
Yeah.
And of course, we couldn't have done it without the lovely Pearl.
She sort of nods to him and smiles.
And you see little tears run in his eyes as he's like takes this ring and he like tries to like put it back on his leg. He sort of like can't really see very well, so he kind of misses his foot at first, and he's like, "Oh dear, hold on 1 second." And he sort of leans against you, Ainsley, and puts one wing over your shoulder while he puts this ring on. Oh, that's better. Gosh, blimey, I better like tie it to my leg, otherwise there I lose it again.
Ainsley offers to help him tie it with a bit of rope.
Yeah, and you accept your help, a little bit of string, and you tie it around one of maybe, I don't know, maybe his toe or something, and one of the little claws on his webbed feet.
I think Ainsley would make like a little kind of like, he would try and make a little thing that's like, almost like a contraption that sort of goes in between his like sort of toes. And then wraps around his leg, so it's not very tight, but it's just like it's secure in the way it's built, like, almost like a sock.
Yeah. Oh, that is lovely. Oh my God, you didn't tell me you were an artist as well.
I just try and fix stuff when I can.
Oh, it's beautiful. Well, you can't leave without seeing Stan. Just give me a moment. I need to go and wake him up.
Of course.
And you see him shuffle to the water again with his newfound ring sock on his feet with his ring attached. And he goes and shuffles all the way and swims to his home. And about 10 minutes pass, and you can see this old beaver emerge from the home as well.
Oh, he's so cute.
Stan Biggleton Beaver steps out from the door, and he is an old man. He does have a little walking stick with him. He has his glasses, and as he steps out the door, he sort of like adjusts them to try and see to the shoreline to the both of you. Clearly Gerald has not told him of the turmoil, because he just greets you with a little wave like this, like a little queen's wave. And he's like, "Is that Ainsley over there, Gerald?" It is Ainsley and Pearl, my love. And oh my, I've not seen them all winter. Indeed we haven't. We should go and greet them once more. They have got cookies, my dear. And he's like, cookies? Oh my. I've not had them all winter either. We should go. Oh, this means it is the first day of spring? Oh, it is, my dear. You haven't seen the spring weather yet? Oh, of course you haven't. I haven't woken you up from your morning nap yet. God, no, you haven't. It's a bit late. My watch is not working, but you cannot take advantage of me, Gerald. I would never take advantage of you, Stan. I love you after all, and I love you even more in the spring. You know I do. Oh, well, we better go and greet our friends over there. They seem like they're waiting for us. Oh, yes, well, you first, Stan. You know how I have to be behind you. Of course, I'm on my way. And he, uses his little walking stick to get right to the edge of the dock. Cute. And he, puts a foot in. He's like, oh, it's rather cold this year. I was expecting slightly warmer for the first day of spring. Oh, but you can handle it, Stan. You always can. And he sort of gives him a little tiny push, and Stan is in the water.
Does he use the log as a little floaty
yes,
he
does. He uses the little floaty because his arms don't work as good as they used to, so he uses his little walking stick log to perch up on, and just kicks his back legs with his tail and slowly pushes himself along this lake. Oh, are the boats not working again, Gerald? Oh, I don't know. I haven't checked the spring, but usually they swell to. Well, young Ainsley said they were broken, so I believe him. We'll fix them later. We've got to enjoy the day first. Oh, of course, my lover. We will enjoy them imminently with some cookies. Well, we won't do if you don't get your buttocks over there quickly now. And they both make it to the shoreline to greet you both.
Yeah, and Ainsley sort of waves hello and greets them and passes them some cookies, hands out some cookies, and brings over Chester and has,
Gerald, you forgot the coffee. Oh my God! You always say I forget the coffee. You should have brought the coffee yourself. You have a table after all. Even a floating table. You could have brought the coffee. Oh, go get it.
It's okay. I'm sure there'll be plenty of coffee later at the festival.
Your words end on deaf ears as Gerald is already making his way over to his house to get some coffee.
Yeah, he sort of floats and makes small talk with Stan.
Yeah. And your small talk is as lovely as ever with this lovely young couple.
Yeah.
And
so young.
So young. Oh, this lovely young couple on the lake. And eventually Gerald brings some coffee and some milk and some I don't know what he would have. Maybe some seaweed or something.
Yeah.
And he'd bring that along and you'll have a little picnic on the moor.
Oh, so lovely.
The day it wears on, he managed to retrieve Gerald's wedding ring, one that Stan would have been very distraught that Gerald had managed to lose his wedding ring. You don't know for how many times that has happened, but Now at least he has a stock that will keep it on for as long as it can.
I realised after I'd made the sock that it probably should have been a better idea to just give him a string so he can tie it around his neck. But I'm committed to this terrible sock idea now.
And you see it damp and wet as he gets out of the water.
I'm sticking to it. I'm not changing my mind. The best sock.
The best sock ever.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And you enjoy your cookies and milk and your coffee on the moor with these young couple. And the day wears on. Do you leave the couple to go anywhere else?
No, I think you head back to Mr. Terrible fucking names, Humble Pig.
Yeah. So you head back to Ace Humble Pig. Humble Pig is waiting on his porch.
Oh, I love Humble Pig. Yeah, he goes up and he just sort of stops by and he tells him what they've done and he tells him how it went and why they were running late to the festival and stuff, and that I imagine they'll probably be by in time for celebrations.
Oh my gosh, it sounds rather ghastly, don't you think, with the insects invading Wally's home?
Yeah, it's awful horrible. But
Yes, well,
we sorted it.
you did, and well done to you. Extra cookies all around. I'm sure Rosie will oblige.
I'm sure she will.
Oh my gosh, and I'm glad the young couple on the lake are safe and sound. After all, we have not seen them all morning.
Yeah, they said they'd be along sooner or later.
Oh, good. That's good to know. And Wally as well.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Everyone will all be accounted for.
And Marco.
And Marco, of course, his newfound winter friend. I remember, if I recall. Yes, indeed. Well, I do hope that everyone will be joining us this evening for the beginning of spring. After all, everyone will be there.
Oh, I can't wait, Mr. Humble Pig. It's going to be grand.
Yes, will you be bringing Chester as well?
Of course. Chester always comes.
Of course. How could I even ask, you know? Oh, this is wonderful news. I'm so glad that they're all right. Of course, I've been busy all day, you know, trying to fix everyone and make sure that everyone is all right in the first day of spring.
Well, it's the busiest day of the year, Mr. Humble Pig.
It really is the busiest day. I am busy every time this day comes around every year. You know, everybody wants to see me after such a long period without this beautiful face, after all.
Of course, they wouldn't want to miss you, Mr. Humble Pig.
No, exactly, they wouldn't. And I mean, I want to help everyone as much as I can, and for that means I need like 10 of me, and I only have the one.
Well, it's never enough, is there?
It's never enough. Will you be joining us in the centre, or will you be on the outskirts festival? Or?
We'll be right there in the centre, sir.
The centre.
Me and Pearl.
Oh, perfect.
Pearl's got a reef to show off in one of the contests.
Oh my, yes, of course. I look forward to it. And your family's reefs, of course.
Pearl gulps slightly nervously, but she's like, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they will all look wonderful, all lined up together, comparing each one.
Like Ainsley kind of sort of nudges Pearl and just says,
See, there, Mr. Humble Pig's excited. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh, I cannot wait to see everybody's devices and designs and art forms and food, and it would be a wonderful festival, I'm assure you. What do you have, Mr. Ainsley? Do you have anything to present, or have you been chilling, as it were, winter?
I've got something to go.
He'll pull the little contraption out of his back rucksack. And...
But I don't want to test it until it's the right time.
As he pulls it out, do a little check.
Oh, fuck. What do you want me to roll?
What have you got again? Let's have a look.
I mean, the skills, or I can roll a percentage die, or...
You do, yeah, do a percentage die. Here you go.
Have you got a percentage in mind?
I've got one in mind.
Okay, 67%.
Okay, you're alright.
Right.
Oh, that looks like a wonderful device. What does it do?
Oh, you have to wait and see, Mr.
Oh,
Humble Pig.
I apologise. How could I even be so rude? Of course I will wait and see you like everyone else.
I'm sure it'll
I'd
work
like to be
this time.
humble with such devices. It's a bit of a word, but I will wait.
Well, can't wait to see you later, sir.
Oh, I look forward to it, and I look forward to the celebrations. Perhaps you will, your device can contribute to the... well, it looks rather like, colourful.
Yeah, it'll be a blast.
Oh, well, wonderful. It will fit right in. Okay. Well, I'll meet you in the centre a bit later on. You are... well, I have no more task for you. You're free to do as you please.
Brilliant. We'll see you later, Mr. Humble Pig, for the grand festival.
Thank you so much for checking in. Well, they are the most... as much as I don't like the word, but they are the most vulnerable of the citizens, and we must take care of everyone.
I agree, sir. Everyone needs some help and friendship.
Exactly, and you are one of the best ones at it. With you and Pearl.
Thank you, Mr. Humble Pig. We just want to help,
Oh, that's wonderful. And I hope to see you more in the future.
You definitely will, Mr. Humble Pig.
This will be a great beginning to a great new year.
I agree.
So yeah, Ainsley will make his way towards the town and get ready for the festival.
Do you do anything in particular to get ready for the festival?
I don't think anything massively in particular. Probably just checking in and helping Pearl get her stuff ready and getting his stuff ready and just seeing what events are going on and yeah, stuff like that really.
Yeah. So, as you come to about twilight time, maybe go hang out in Rosie's cafe even.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Go hang out in Rosie's cafe until the festival begins.
Yeah, sipping down some nice hot chocolate, some biscuits, and occasionally seeing. I don't know what events they have at the festival, like during the day, or is it mostly all in the evening?
It's mostly all in the sort of twilight hours of the first day of spring. Everyone's gotten their stuff ready by then. They've all prepared it. It's all sort of, the bustle has started to begin now. You can hear it on the outside of Rosie's cafe. All the people are walking past. Already people have tried to hide some of their things for now because they want to reveal them when the festival officially starts.
Yeah.
But you see little kids peeking behind some of the little tents and taking a quick sneaky look and then whispering Chinese whispers to their friend like, "Oh, did you see blah blah blah's thingy, blah blah blah, blah blah blah," like that. And you can hear the hustle and bustle outside of Rosie's cafe. But inside, she is a little bit busier now. Some people have come and sat in. They are also drinking their fair share of drinks, hot drinks. She's got the cookies. They're on a thorough, big, festive display on the front of her cafe now, and everyone comes in and gets at least one cookie for themselves. And of course, with no currency, everyone gets one for free, and nobody gets left out. Essentially, everybody is able to have a piece of life in this festival. She's lit some of the candles around, the atmosphere is warm, the fire is lit, and while it's the first day of spring, it is still a little bit chilly outside. But it's kind of a fresh kind of chilly where you breathe it in and it's nice and new, and being surrounded by the green and leaf and the life tree itself exuding exceptionally fresh air basically at all times. There's no pollution in this land.
Sounds lovely.
And Rosie herself busy away cooking at the back more cookies. She is wearing the happiest face she has. This is everyone's happiest time of year, the first day of spring, and Rosie is not excluded from that. Despite making cookies basically all day, she is in her element. Dust covers her black fur, with the flour sticking to her paw pads and in between the toes and even the little claws. Even though she sheaves them in and out, she's making little patterns on the pies with her claws. and swishing some of the flour from the floor with her tail. So you sit and you wait for the festival to begin in Rosie's cafe. She doesn't really have much to say unless you speak to her, because she is thoroughly busy.
No, Ainsley and Pearl would leave her be and just... I think Pearl would probably go off and sort of, not say goodbye, but just go back to helping her parents sort of set up. They'd probably just be all like, where have you been and stuff. But Ainsley's just sort of chilling in there and just observing the atmosphere and just enjoying. I imagine he might go sit on the porch outside maybe, and just with a little hot chocolate and just sort of watch wherever everyone sets up and just enjoy the atmosphere and stuff like that.
Not too long into your stay at Rosie's cafe, Bodger Badger would step in. And you would recognise him. You've spoken to him before. He's probably one of your more closer friends. He's a bit more than acquaintance, but not quite like a friend at this point just yet. But he would nod at you and greet you as he walks in. He's coming for the same thing as everyone else: cookies and hot chocolate and hot drinks, and he is very raring and ready for the festival as well. He would come and sit next to you. Do you say anything?
Yeah, Ainsley would greet him and say,
Hello, Bodger. It's nice to see you. How did your winter go? Happy new spring.
What, Ainsley? You're not seen you in a while. It's been, my winter was great, to be honest. I had many, everyone's making their own stuff out there. I didn't really take part in making my own stuff, but I certainly will take part in having a look at all the stuff.
Yeah, well, I've got a little something myself.
Oh yeah.
Something a bit explosive.
Well, explosive, I like a bit of explosive.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll really just let off the festival with a great atmosphere.
Well, I'm sure it will, little lad. Maybe I'll be there to watch it.
Well,
when you gonna let it off?
I think right at the start.
Right at the start?
Yeah, to signal everyone's ready to go.
Oh, perfect. I'll definitely be around to watch that then.
Yeah, you won't miss it, I promise you.
Oh, well, I promise that I'll watch it. Alright? Well, I've had a hard morning. Everyone wants all their goods from me, which is fair enough, But I need a cuppa now. Are you sitting here for much longer?
Just until the festival starts, then I want to get all involved,
It's a couple of hours we got then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we chill here together. Maybe we'll talk about what you've been doing today.
Yeah, that sounds nice. And well,
And he goes into telling him what he's done today.
And Bodger's Bodger already knows kind of what you do in the general day-to-day life, so he's unsurprised by your antics of the day. But he is surprised by the bugs, the bugs that were in Wally Wombat's home. So, come to speak of it, I've heard of some scuttling in my house too.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should go check it out.
Well, I mean, that was a few days ago. I've not heard it for a few days, but maybe some point we can come over and we can check it out.
Yeah, get me worried now. Don't want more of those things, they're horrible.
Yeah, they sound not very nice.
No.
But you know me, Ainsley, I can hold my own,
I know, but we better. Those are pretty tough. They're even a match for me and Pearl.
Oh, really? You two like a dream team.
Yeah, I know. And, well, yeah, just make sure you're safe, Bodger, and maybe me and Pearl can come by and just make sure none of those damn centipedes getting in everywhere else in the village.
Oh, yeah, well, sounds like a good idea, to be honest. So I didn't really realise it was such a big deal. I occasionally hear scuttling. Sometimes it's leaves, freezing on the top of my house, but I don't think it was that this time.
No, they're pretty distinctive sound.
Oh, really? Do you want to remake the sound for me?
He'll try his best to imitate the sound.
Go on, performance. How good?
Well, he's pretty good at performance, but I roll pretty fucking shit with Ainsley, so...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. You do like a perfect imitation.
It was nearly a 4. It was nearly a 4. The top of the screen blocked it. It's fine.
So you do a perfect imitation of these giant centipedes to Bodger, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the one. How did you do that so good? You've been sneaking around my house, ain't you?"
No, I heard them earlier.
Oh, I know you. You've been sneaking around.
I haven't been sneaking around, Bodger.
Oh, I'm joking. Yeah, no, that's exactly the ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be them then. You best be careful, Bodger. They're awful nasty.
Yeah, I will. I'll have to be real careful. I'll have to tell my mum not to go near the walls.
Yeah, I wouldn't. They're horrible.
Yeah, well, I'll have to put some blocks up or something, won't I? Yeah, but for now, let's just enjoy the first day of spring.
Yeah.
We can't, let it down with all this, scuffly talk. I'll tell Humble Pig. He'll sort me out as well.
Yeah, I'll go tell him as well if you want.
Yeah, Humble Pig will sort me out with some, people come and have a look. You can come and have a look too, and
yeah, that sounds like
we can
a
all
good
go sort
idea.
out these centipedes. Rude, aren't they? Invading everyone's homes.
Yeah.
Wally's house, my house. Wonder if anyone else has had this problem.
No, I hope not.
Oh, same here. Okay, well, a couple of hours go by. You sit there talking about these centipedes with Bodger and how they could have infiltrated Wally's home. They don't usually. This is the first time this sort of thing has happened in springtime. Sometimes it happens towards the beginning of winter, but not to this extent. They never break through into the homes. You usually just see them on the outskirts, but it's a bit weird for them to have broken into Wally's house, or even for Bodger to be hearing these scuttling noises. But you talk to Bodger for a couple of hours, and then it's time for the festival to begin.
Awesome.
So,
Ainsley's going to let off his explosion.
Ainsley lets off his explosion with the 12 from earlier. It not only explodes in the direction that he intended, it explodes in multiple directions in a much bigger space than Ainsley anticipated.
Yeah, it's not bad, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and it covers everyone who's watching. Bodger is covered in, what was it again? Just
Like
confetti.
Yeah.
Covered in this natural confetti. It's colourful. It's got stuck into his fur. Ainsley, you didn't tell me I was going to be colourful for the festival.
That's the best thing to be in the festival.
That's true. And then several other people are coated with your confetti as well. It's gone everywhere, Ainsley. And it has taken up the whole street, essentially, with this muttering and laughing, and you've brightened up everyone's day with your device, even if you hadn't intended. So, the rest of the festival, you look around, your device goes off, several other people have made not quite as good ones as you, but they go off with some few little twigs that sort of sprout into the air and then stick like a little statue like that. And they don't go, and you see people trying to fiddle with their devices, trying to get them to go. They go like on their devices and bash them, and what you do to an old TV that's not working, and they just don't work. Some of them don't work, and then some of them go off without a hitch. Both times exploding with joyous anticipation to the crowd watching. A lot of the avians have come down from the life tree. Even some of the servants have come to the centre, even though they usually stick to the outskirts where they are able to fit more nicely into the thinner streets. But a lot of the avians have come down. You can see them all walking around, which they usually fly around. So it's quite nice to have everyone all in one place, which is not always the case. You can see multiple species of folk. There are ravens, there are pigeons, there are owlin, there are goose, there are ducks, and there are mice, and among the mice you see a familiar face. You see Smilla Mouse.
She's so tiny.
She is tiny among the mouse. I'll make her bigger just for now, but she is tiny. If I can get there.
I don't know how to stay on
That's really.
Okay.
There we go. So Smilla Mouse, she doesn't really come to talk to you or anything. You only know her as a distant, like a friend, a bit like Bodger Badger.
Mm.
But she waves at you. You know that Smilla Mouse usually takes up the charge of being a guard for the little grove, which I'll explain a bit more in a minute. So Smilla usually takes up the guard, and so she is, for the festival, she is walking around not as a guard. She is just a normal folk, just enjoying the festivities like everyone else. But she is with her family, which you can imagine as a mouse is a very big family. So there's a horde of mice just walking towards you, Ainsley, and they all stop and look at each item and artifact. They're all carrying their own thing that they've made around with. They didn't even bother getting a stool. They're just carrying them around, walking with them. They're like, look at this, look at this, look at this. Everyone is taller than these mice folk. And so they are having to look down at these mice as they show them their items. So they're all different items. They're from like jewellery to like arts and crafts. You know, everyone in the Smilla family is different. And they make different things for the winter. Smilla herself has made a book. She has written her, basically a winter diary.
Oh, that's cute.
And she is just going around showing everybody what she did on a daily basis. And for some, that is an interesting thing from a different species perspective.
Yeah.
Avians will be particularly curious into what a nice mouse gets up to in the winter, as opposed to their own avian life in the tree. You see everybody thoroughly interested in their items, as well as them looking at everyone else's items in these stalls. And my bloody music has stopped again.
Yeah, Ainsley would wave to Smilla and sort of walk over and say,
"Oh, what's that book you got there?"
Oh, this is my diary from the winter. Did you want to see it, Ainsley?
Yeah, I'd love to. It sounds real nice.
Well, I'll show you from day one. This one is her work. And she like flips over the front page. So this is day one, and I can't remember what I did. I have to read it, Ainsley, to be honest.
Yeah, Ainsley will just sort of like skim through it, I guess, and just get a good idea. It sounds like
you had a real interesting winter, Smilla.
Oh, it did, and it was filled with practicing. You know how I have to practice for the garden. Even in the winter, you got to keep in top shape.
Of course.
Exactly. So you see, Smilla wears a what does she wear? Smilla wears leather armor. She's not a guard actually. She's a scout.
Oh, okay.
Bodger is a guard though. Smilla is a scout, and Smilla just details of how she practices with her short sword and her longbow, and practicing her jumping skills basically all day, every day. Essentially, that's her job currently in the winter. She gives you a greeting, Ainsley. but the horde of mice are soon on their way, and she cannot stray from the pack, and she doesn't speak with you for too long.
No, he sort of waves her goodbye.
Have a great festival.
Have a great festival, Ainsley. I'll see you later. You know, we need to catch up. Maybe on the second day of spring.
Sounds great to me.
Well, I've got to. You see her sort of get washed away with the wave of mice, and she is gone from sight among the crowd of folk. So the festival is filled with little tasks. You can take part in these tasks, or you can just choose not to. Some of the tasks are, I say tasks, but little like
games.
Little games.
Stuff. Yeah.
Little games. You got apple bobbing.
Oh yeah.
A classic.
Ainsley would probably take part in most of them, to be honest. Yeah.
So you take part in most of these little games, and everyone's having fun. There's a little queue for each one because there's a lot of people. There's only so many games, so there's a little queue for each one. But it's mostly parents sort of shuffling their kids over to play in these games as well, to more ahead of them. You can see the adults want to play as well, but they're like, it's a bit of a queue, so let's get the kids over there instead, sort of thing. You'll see familiar faces. You'll see the bunny family, a little bit like the mice family. They have a lot of family members. Not quite a horde as the mice, and not quite a bit of a washy wave, but you can definitely see some bunny ears over the top of some people coming your way. There's a bunch of people. They are mostly looking at all the grassy vegetable foods, as you might imagine.
I can imagine it very well.
Yeah. You'll see Wally Wombat. He's out there with his cricket. Marco, and he's holding him with a bunch of like sack of gems on his back, and he's like carrying lots of jewellery with him. He's like just walking around with his cricket, and this is Marco, and this is my jewels. Do you want to see my jewels? You can see him doing that sort of thing, and showing everybody. He again doesn't have his own stall. You think probably because he was busy in the morning with you and Marco, trying to find Marco. And the day wears on. You play some games. You see all your family, or all your friends rather, and Pearl sees all her family. How does Pearl's reef showing go?
I guess I should roll for it, really, shouldn't I? What should I roll?
I don't know. Performance maybe, or like a nature, like how good she made it from the nature stuff.
Let's do a nature check.
Oh,
not great.
Oh dear. So everyone is looking at her little reef and sort of like, oh, that was nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I imagine it being like fine, but it's like compared to the like lavish lightness of the rest of her family's reefs, it's kind of just completely overlooked.
Literally, yeah. So hers one is like the first in the line, and you walk past and you're like, oh, that was nice. Really nice. You get to do the next one. Oh, that was really good. And the next one, oh my life, that was.
Yeah, I imagine that was a big crowd gathering around like some of the bigger reefs, while this like her one is like just like maybe one other person.
Yeah, you get to the end and like everyone's gathered around the last one, and it's like your brothers or something, and like everyone's looking at it and pointing at it like, oh my lord, oh my, that one encapsulates the whole of the life tree. That one is amazing. Oh my, you look at all that detail on that one. Oh my, oh. And you can hear that sort of like noise coming from that small crowd there. Meanwhile, on the other end of is Pearl's reef, and it's just got one guy looking at it like, I like simplicity.
I was just like, thanks.
I like the simplicity of that one. That one's my favourite.
Thanks, sir.
And then the day wears on. Festivities all happen like similar to how I just described. You can see all the little lights are all put up like how they are in the picture there, and you can see garlic and the vegetables and pieces of artwork hanging from each store. music is as lively as it is in this music here, with multiple different sounds from multiple different places. There's even a stage separate right in the middle where there's a huge crowd gathered around a particular well-known, well-loved bard. Did I get a... I don't know if I made any. Well, I didn't make him, but there's a well-beloved bard dancing and singing in the middle of the town centre right now. He is a... I'll make him later. But he is dancing, and you can see some of the small children and bunny folk and avian folk like dancing in the middle, and the little children have gone up to the little children's section at the front, and they're all dancing away and dancing with each other, and they all have been practicing their little dance moves throughout the winter. And so they're definitely trying to show off to their friends now that they've seen them. And it comes to twilight, where at twilight everyone sort of sits down for a nice big feast, and there are tables and chairs set up in the centre square. The music still plays. The music goes down a little bit to a lower... Let me see if I have a lower one actually. We'll go back to this one. This one was quite good.
Right now.
So the music dies down to a lower, more settled phase, and everyone sort of settles down for their feast. You can see Rosie herself and several of other people that have been working hard all day making food for everybody. The particular chefs know what particular people tend to like, and so they tend to serve those people and go around see if anyone else wants to try some as well. And it's just really lovely. And you can see all the mice family have got their own table at the back, because obviously there's a lot of them, so they've got their own table, they chill at the table, and they've got the avians that usually have like insects for their food as well, in like maybe into cookies and stuff like that for protein. Of course, because it's the first day of spring, there's not an abundance of food yet. It's the first day of spring, so it's a nice, I say feast, but like a balanced food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not overwhelming.
No, there's not like a massive amount of food, but it's more everyone's talking across to each other. And hugging their friends and their family, and like, nice to see you again. I'm glad to see you again from the winter. You know, I worry about you and I miss you and things like that. And you see Gerald and Stan. They come and waddle along to their little chairs that have been saved for them on the end there, next to each other, and they have their little meal. You see Stan and like lean his walking stick up next to the table, and Gerald just sort of like taps his foot onto Stan's foot under the table, and you can see them playing footsies under the table.
Oh, so cute.
You can see Stan's just like, stop that, Gerald, you know what, everyone can see us. It's like, oh, who don't, what, see what now, we're not doing anything at all. Oh, you know what you're doing, Gerald. Everyone's looking. Oh no, they're not looking. You're fine, Stan. You like my sock, really?
Ainsley's just taking in the atmosphere and enjoying a little humble meal for himself.
Yeah. Would Ainsley be thinking about his family maybe at this time?
Yeah, I think he would. He would be. There is an element of Ainsley that's kind of sad, and he's a very positive person though. Like, even in the sadness, he's positive, and he knows he'll find his family one day.
Yeah. So does he sort of wear that on his expression at all? Or does he give a sad little look at all at any point?
I don't think so. I think Ainsley's someone who has a great deal of sadness in his heart, but he never wears it on his face, and it's not through hiding it, it's just through genuine positivity. I think you can be positive even in the face of sadness, and I think sometimes that's maybe the strongest way to be positive, is in the face of sadness. And I don't think he lets his sadness get to him. I think he tries to focus on all the positive things in his life and all the happy things, and he just genuinely really loves this moment.
And that's really nice. And you see Bodger Badger in the distance there, and you can see him coming over to sit across from the table from you. You can see he's bringing his mum. She's an elderly little badger. She's got grey and black fur all over, and you can see her hobbling along. She doesn't need a walking stick quite yet, but you can see she's struggling. Yeah. So you see Bodger Badger. He's got her by the arm, and he's bringing her over to sit next to the table, next to him, like opposite you.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you've seen my mum?"
Yeah, of course. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Badger.
Nice to meet you, because he's met her before, but
yeah.
Nice to see you again. I hope you had a good winter.
Oh, it's nice to see you, young.
And Ainsley sort of has a little conversation with her, and just enjoying the evening.
And eventually, you get to sort of midway, and finally the governors join you at the table. They join all the citizens partway through the festival. They've been busy all day, and this is where I'll introduce the governors, because you all know every single one of them. So this, I haven't got a picture for one of them, but
that's fine.
I've got Mr. Reed Tome. This is him here. If I can make him, can you see him?
Yeah, he's quite little, but
yeah, hold on. Here he is.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Reed Tome Fox. So you would know that Mr. Reed Tome Fox's role as a governor is he is in charge of the Little Groves Library, and also the education of all of the community of the Little Grove. He is in charge of providing everybody with adequate resources to be able to learn whatever they want to learn at any time. His library is massive, humongous library, right in the centre of the Little Grove, right next to the tree, and you would know where that was if you ever wanted to go see Mr. Tome Fox. He is a very good source of information if you ever needed any.
Awesome.
Mr. Reed Tome Fox himself is an elderly man. He just hides away in his library most of the time, but it's important for him to get out there occasionally to distribute that education and books and resources for everyone.
Yeah.
So you will see him about occasionally, but if you need to find him, he's most likely in his library. So that is Mr. Reed Tome Fox. This is Rishka Raccoon. Rishka Raccoon is
She's awesome.
one of the governors. She is in charge of the guard. So as a charge of the guard, she recruits, trains and posts each community member that wishes to join the guard of protecting the village. That is her role. She's a stern woman, but friendly and approachable.
Oh, I like her. She's awesome. What is Ace Humblepig in charge of?
Ace Humblepig is also one of the governors. You would know that Ace Humblepig is in charge of, specifically, Ace Humblepig is one of the governors of the Little Grove. He is in charge of making sure everyone has what they need. A particular concern of his, as spring begins, is accounting for all vulnerable members of the Little Grove.
Oh, 2 more.
So this is Heartful Raccoon. I do not have a token for her, but she is basically the equivalent to Rishka, but with scouts.
What's she called?
Heartful Raccoon. Falcon, sorry. Heartful Falcon.
In charge of the scouts.
Mm-hmm.
What do the scouts do?
I'll get to that. And this very, very important man of the village of the Little Grove is I'm going to change his name quickly because I thought of a better one earlier.
So I can't see it anyway, so.
Oh fuck, I can't remember what it was now. Shit. I just have to keep it as what it was because I can't remember what it was. It was so good as well.
Oh, damn it.
Anyway, this is his name now because I can't remember the other one. This is Farsworn the Fourth.
It's a good name.
Farsworn the Fourth, you would know, has a very important role in the Little Grove. He is the village's most powerful illusionist sorcerer. His duty is essential in protecting the village from predators with his illusion magic. It is Farsworn's duty to divert and distract predators from coming anywhere near the village. And he works together with the scouts and the guards to make that happen. He is an active member of the village, and he goes out every day outside of the village to distribute these predators from coming anywhere close. He's very important and very, what's the word? Like, he's a stern man, but he kind of has to be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But everyone loves him, and everyone respects him because he's very important. And he is the fourth in his generation. There were three before him, the same family. Recently, Farsworn III has been deceased. He was the governor prior, but Farsworn IV has been doing this job for a very long time, since he was young. Yeah. Alongside his father.
Makes sense.
And that is the 5 governors of the Little Grove. And they would all join you at the table. You would see people hush silent as Farsworn enters sort of people's field of vision.
Yeah. And
he will sit down humbly at his table and greet everyone in a respectful manner. You know, he's not, tough or anything, or but he knows he's important. Basically.
Yeah, I get you.
You'll see Rishka. She comes along with several of her guards. She's a bit more rowdy. She's a bit more, Yeah. And she comes along and sits down with her guards, and she just sort of greets everybody with a smile, and including you, including Ainsley, including Pearl, including everyone she walks past.
Yeah.
And the same, Reed, a bit more reserved, carrying several books in his hand.
Yeah. His or her?
His hand. And he would be carrying several books, and he would be distributing them out as he goes past some important people. Like, you're in charge of the orphanage, you're in charge of the thing, you're in charge of that thing, you get that one, you get that one. This is the rabbit family. There you go. Yeah. So he has to distribute his responsibilities because he can't educate everyone.
Yeah.
And you see Ace Humblepig comes along. He's coming along with his
Ace Humblepig.
He's coming along with his daughters. And he sits down at a table. You would know his daughters are. They spread themselves around. They do various things.
Yeah.
Like, mostly they kind of make cakes. A bit like Rosie.
So cute. Oh, that's so funny. Just the idea of them just all making cake.
Yes, they mostly make cakes. They're just cake. They like making cakes.
That's fair. If you like it, you might as well do what you're good at.
And then Heartful Falcon is sitting with most of the avians, and a lot of her scouts are surrounding her as well. She sits with the scouts, especially the new ones that might be more nervous to go out. And
yeah,
you will find that scouts are mostly avian, because it's the easiest. It's the easiest for them to be flying around. Yeah, so you will find that the scouts are mostly avian, and you'll find that the guards mostly consist of medium-sized.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not always though, because Smilla is also a guard.
I thought she was a scout.
She's a scout, sorry. Yeah, who's the guard? Bodger.
Bodger's the guard.
Bodger's the guard.
That also kind of makes sense though, because she's so small, she can stealthily move around easier.
Yeah, and you will find the small creatures are also scouts as well. Whereas small creatures can just do whatever they want.
Yeah, because they're awesome.
And the festival continues with the 5 governors each making a little speech to everyone. I didn't like speakers.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. But they'd be very inspiring, and you'd see all the citizens that can see or in the vicinity, and you would see different attitudes towards different governors, but all positive. There's no negative towards these governors. They do their job, and they do their job well, and they are respected for it, because they tend to not really be able to move from their job like other people can.
Yeah.
So
they're very important.
They are very important. The day and the night of the first day of spring comes to an end.
Is that the end of the session?
That's the end of the session, my little bit.
Oh, do I level up?
You do level up.
Yes. I'm so eager to level up after killing those stupid things. I'm gonna level up now. Launch level and character monster. Let's do it. Do I take average? Do I roll?
It's up to you, my little biff. I forgot to introduce the third. Oh well.
Third what?
The third.
Oh, it's fine. We'll do it next time.
We'll do next time.
I'm gonna roll for it. Oh fuck yes! I rolled an 8. I've rolled the max.
Nice.
Cunning action, which is very good.
Oh, I forgot to get to that.
It's
Like
fine.
what the guards and stuff is.
No, it's fine. We can cover more next session. You've always got you've got material.
I mean, you got the idea over it.
100%. And you got material for next session.
Yeah, I just didn't want to lord on you. You got the idea anyway.
Yeah,
you can't
100%. Yeah.
So did you have fun?
I did have a lot of fun. Yeah, it was really good. I fucking got 18 HP now.
Not bad.
That's really good.
That's really
Level
fucking
2
good.
for
Jesus.
a rogue.
Yeah.
+1 to the con coming in hot.
Nice.
Nice. Cool. Level 2 rogue.
No.
Don't know why it's reset my AC again. Annoying. Cool. So and then Pearl. Let's level her up. It means I can pick her subclass as well, doesn't it? Launch level and character monster. Next, let's roll for hers. Great. Not great. That's what I get for choosing to roll. I do get. Well, I already got Nature's Domain actually, but I get Channel Divinity now. Which I don't actually know what it does.
I don't know.
Does it say in here? Probably does. Wait, don't. Oh, wait.
Sorry, my part hurts now.
Oh, look. I'm sure it'll say somewhere else. Oh, here we go. Gain the ability to channel divine energy directing your deity and affect them by your domain. Charm animals and plants. You can use your channel ability to charm animals and plants and actually use it hangs everyone. Affect them, blah, blah, blah. Each beast or plant you consume 30 if you must make a wisdom save. Creature fails at saving for its charm by you for 1 minute to take damage while its charm to you is friendly to you and other creatures you designate. That's real
That's
good.
gonna be a fucking good yeah, bro.
Yep. Current spells.
Did you pause this recording?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I was going to do it after my level up.
Oh, yeah.
5 out of 4 spell chosen. Wait, what? I'm confused.
You didn't choose all the spells? Or
No,
you chose too many? Or I don't care.
No, I didn't choose too many. I just added ones from my race.
Oh, I wouldn't know about it.
This is a bit annoying. I can't have another spell. Let's do the current spell your character.
Can you add
already
them
knows.
separately?
Yeah, I can, but I just. I'll sort it out in a sec. The spells I should have. Let's have a look. Cleric. Spell table.
But did you have fun?
I
That's
did a
my
lot of
most-
fun,
my
yes.
most
I had loads of
important-
fun.
Did you actually?
Yes, I did, honestly.
Okay.
First level spell, I should have 3.
Oh, okay.
The
You
current-
might have to just add them separately.
I will, yeah. I don't know why I've got so many now. I think animal friendship and speak with animals came from just my cleric thing though, right? Hold on, let's find nature. Cleric. Yeah, those are for my thing, so I should have 3 spells. That's correct. 3. Not including my... Because these are always prepared. So those 2 are always prepared, so I should have 3. I mean, I already had 3 for some reason. Unless one of the other things came from something else.
I don't know. You only use 2 spells anyway.
Yeah. It's fine then, I don't actually have to do anything. Not a huge fan of the way. Oh no, it's 3 spell slots. Stupid.
Yeah, you get slots.
So I basically just got a spell slot.
Yeah,
That's all I got. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, you also get to pick another one, surely. Like, as in,
Another
like,
spell?
to prepare. Oh, no, because that goes
Spells prepared. How many ones can you have prepared?
Doesn't it go up one every level, or is that just when you increase your wisdom? I'm not
Spells
sure.
prepared. Perfect.
3. No, it's the same. Like,
No,
level
it's
2.
the same table.
Oh.
When you prepare this or any class, choose a cleric spells. Choose a number of cleric spells equal to your wisdom modifier plus your cleric level.
Yeah. There you go.
So wisdom modifier is +2, plus level is 2. So I should be able to prepare 1 more spell. You're right, yeah. So 1 more spell I can prepare. So I don't plan on swapping them out. I'm just going to have as a base spell
just
list.
put them on there,
So let's look at cleric spells.
You can swap them out if you need to, though.
Yeah, I know, I'm too lazy.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to detect magic.
Yeah.
I think. Just because I feel that would be really useful. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right. Almost there. Detect magic. Cool.
Nice.
Looks like an upgrade. I need to put always prepared on these ones, but... Oh, whatever. whatever. I'll just leave it.
Just leave it. You can have it as a note if you have to.
Yeah, I can change it afterwards. It's fine. Cool.
Leveled up.
I'm gonna get in the recording. Right.